There's stormy weather. Making leaps and bounds through advocacy. Spreading joy and awareness for all to see. There's no community without you and me. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We build each other up. We expand our networking and resources. We never give up. We stand for what is right. We never go down without a fight. The African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. I say, it takes a village to become a community. So community, please stand up. We are waiting.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first-to-market odds and lines. What's up, y'all? It's your man, Lloyd Spence. And listen, all you got to do is find your reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf, all at betonline.ag. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. So, head to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50. That's BELIEVE50, BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. If you bet online, it's where the game starts. Tell them the Noisemakers sent you.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this movement up back again. Put the big around the world and the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
Tell your kids stop yelling. Kick it. She's out of the room. I can't warn you more than I just warned you. That's it. That's all I got for you. Matter of fact, white guitars, if you don't mind, give us a little meditational music, and I'm gonna warn them again. That's all I can do tonight. White guitars, give us a little white guitars. There you go. Okay, thank you, sir. I just sit tight. I'm coming. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you here tonight, and we're gonna have a good time on Talkin Noise. But tonight, very, very sensitive subject. This is not gonna be a sermon as much as it is gonna be conversation. I warn you tonight. Tonight's material is very sensitive in nature. I would not bring my kids. I lock them out of the room, give them a PlayStation, maybe a Klondike bar. Have them do something different tonight. As for the rest of us, get ready. Thank you, white guitarist. I appreciate you. Love that guy. Appreciate you, brother. Hi, Mama Noise. Good to see you. Right, that's Al. That's all I'm trying to do, bro. I'm trying to warn people. This ain't for the faint of heart. That's all I'm trying to do is warn people. Mama Noise, you muted. Can't anybody hear you saying?
I was like, hi, and looked up and realized I didn't have it.
What up, Chad? What up, everybody? Listen, all I can do is warn people. That's it. Now, what you do with the warning is up to you.
Okay.
I've told people what to do and how to prepare and all that good stuff. So
you did send out the link a couple of days
I sent the link a couple of days ago, so hopefully by now people have watched it. But you know, even with what we're gonna do tonight, it's a lot. It's a heavy topic. So you've been warned.
Do we need to tell Zara to mute and moderate? I mean,
no. I mean, this is something she can listen. She's old.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's a lot though.
Okay.
I can hold you. It's a lot.
I'll be ready.
I'll let her make a judgment call. How about that?
I'll be ready for the Q&A after the show.
Absolutely. We got a special guest tonight too, joining us to add more to the female perspective. I know the guys are coming through, but I want to add to the female perspective. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, noisemaker Alicia Montgomery is in the building. Miss Dunlap is in the building. What's going on?
Like that shirt. How you doing?
Like the shirt?
Yes.
What you say now, Lisa? We tried. Listen, I just wanted to make you feel at home.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Full disclosure, Mama Noise and Miss Alicia are were y'all classmates? Yeah, classmates. Yeah, so
we are alumni. We are the alumni of the first magnet school in the city of Louisville.
You're not the first. I didn't tell you.
Best high school in the land.
We are the first. I done told you that.
Our class is the first 4-year class.
That's right.
Graduate from Manual.
From Manual, right? That's true. That part is true. But she always trying to claim the magnet part. I'm like,
that's true. Yes, we are the first 4-year class out of DuPont Manual's magnet program.
Right, DuPont Manual.
No. Okay, Mr.
Not in the city of Louisville. She be trying to say the city of Louisville.
No, you need to do the research. When you look it up, Manual High School is the first magnet high school.
I thought Al Brown did the research and
when he looked it up, his face was cracked and on the ground because he tried to claim
Central. The 90s.
That's right. Central High School was not the first.
Okay,
yes,
right.
That is true.
All right, I'm gonna let y'all. I'm outnumbered, so I'm gonna let y'all have it tonight.
What?
I'm gonna let y'all have it tonight. I'm outnumbered. I can't I'm out here on the island
we
by
have the
myself.
truth on our side.
I'm just saying. I don't understand.
Listen. It really listen. At this point, both of y'all don't. Neither one of y'all go there, so I'm fine. It don't really matter.
What?
I work.
Y'all don't attend manual no more.
I see it every day.
What do you mean you see it every day? You drive by there?
I work right across the street
at the University.
Really?
At the University of Louisville. Yes, I do.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Breaking news: Alicia is at the University of Louisville.
See,
so you are more perfect for this topic that we're going to have today than we could possibly imagine. Because I'm sure you have watched the University of Louisville evolve into something that is, dare I say, I don't want to say unfamiliar, but somewhat unfamiliar, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Thank you, Albie. Thank you.
DuPont Manual High School was a magnet
before 86,
because Romel is a 3-year graduate of DuPont. The class before ours had been there for 3 years. So I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, don't be trying to kick up dust in the chat.
Albie, whenever you want to jump on, you have the link. You know what to do. So
what were the magnet programs? Can we get a list on that?
What?
We're not doing that tonight. We got a whole different thing we're doing tonight. I'm
just saying, you gonna bring it all.
We might say that for tomorrow's show. Speaking of tomorrow's show, we are going to start a celebration tomorrow that I didn't even realize we needed to celebrate. We are in our anniversary month. Going into our second 9th year as Noise Media and Entertainment. We call the second 9th year. We'll have more information on why we call that later. But one thing we can definitely talk about tomorrow is the second anniversary of Talkin NOIZ this month. And we have done 507 episodes as of tomorrow.
Woo woo!
Now, for those of you who know anything about podcasting, you know that ain't an easy feat. Most people don't make it to 200.
Yeah,
we are now cracking the 500 mark, so we must be doing something right, is what I'm saying. Amen. So we got a lot to celebrate tomorrow. We'll get into all of that and have some fun talking about it and all that good stuff. But I digress because I don't want to waste a lot of time tonight on ancillary conversations. This is one of those nights where we got to get right to it because tonight's topic, are you open to this, stems from somebody tagging me in a I don't even know who it was that tagged me in this, but they tagged me in a video. They said a brand new show's coming out on the Defiant Digital YouTube channel, and it's called Funny Advice, and a comedian that I like named Cynthia Luciette. They said she's hosting an episode you might want to check out. I said, sure, I'll be glad to check it out. I like Cynthia. She's funny. And some of the people on the particular panel that was going to be on this show, I like them as well. So this should be an interesting topic. I had no idea what they were going to be talking about, but I was interested to see what was going to happen. And the conversation was about open relationships. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't prepared, but some of it floored me, but it also clarified a lot of things that I thought about particular people who were on the panel, and it was a very interesting conversation. So interesting that we decided to make our own show about their show. So anytime somebody does a show and they show so good, you got to make a show about their show. You obviously on to something. So shout out to Defiant Digital and the show, brand new show, Funny Advice. We're gonna play some clips right now. I can't play the entire show because it's too much. It's a lot of show, but I'm gonna play some clips for you guys, and I promise you, based on the clips that I'm gonna play, you will get the gist of the conversation. Nothing will be left out in any way, form, or fashion. So here is clip number 1 of the show.
Okay. I've been with my man for 14. I met him 14 years ago. We've been together for 12 years. I've been married to him for 8 years. It's open. We're hella happy. The rule in our relationship is that there's several rules, but one of the rules is that I have to know who the person is, and they have to know that I know, because I don't want her to think she has a secret over me, like the bitch in Baby Boy that was like at the job with Taraji, like giving her a look. So there's no secrets, and it's kind of funny because some people will come to me and try to tell me some stuff that happened, and I'll be like, "Oh, you Tasha, you live in Philly? Yeah, he had a show last week. Like, bitch, you're not telling me nothing." Exactly. So then they're like, I had a dude that was on my Facebook, like, I need to talk to you. Your man's a cheater. Your man's a cheater. And I was like, this is a dude. So I called back to make sure it wasn't no crazy shit, but he was trying to tell me that my man had been with his wife, and I was like, oh yeah, Alicia. I was like, she's in
I know. Sorry about that.
I'm like, yeah, he tells me everything.
And what about
with so you? Hurt, and I was like, your girl's been fucking him for about 2 years. Every time he comes to town,
oh yeah, the language strong.
And I'm so sorry because he was like, I work 16 hours and I'm taking care of her kids. They're not even mine, and I pay all the money. I was like, bro, you're not even gonna leave. That's how I know you're not gonna leave because this has been going on for a long time. And I feel really bad, but I like to be in
transparency.
Yeah, and
so you have a lot of emotional control. When did that start?
Getting cheated on since junior high. It was toughing a bitch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and seeing all the adults in my neighborhood have men who had a woman who had an apartment down the street. And I'm like, and the wife knew about it, but they didn't get a divorce because they were raising kids. And they wanted to look like a happy family. Like I was raised seeing all that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create a different experience for my life.
I have a question. You said like you've been reached out before, like, hey, your man's cheating on her. Has it happened the other way? That somebody reached out to him, like, yo, your girl's with such and such? Why?
Because women are much better at this.
So that's clip number one. That is clip number one. Wait, there is more. This is clip number two.
Seeing men who felt that they deserved to fuck whoever would let them, but they wanted to come home to this faithful woman.
Did you guys ever think about therapy before going to the dick?
What is the therapy? What is the therapy going to do besides?
There you go. The fact that you
therapy.
don't know.
No, I have no problem with therapy, but I constantly I'm sitting across from someone who's like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to do, but she can't. That's the consensus for the majority of men in America, and I live in America.
She couldn't do what she wanted to do,
but you wouldn't stay with her if she did.
I said after she done fucked somebody else. Y'all so dramatic.
That's literally what we're talking about.
That's literally what I'm saying. That's why I brought
you the type of person, so then you just can't do an open relationship. Then
I'm not trying to.
So you just go until you get caught,
bro. It's one pussy in this whole relationship.
Yeah.
If you out there giving me some and somebody else some, that means I'm not getting all I'm supposed to get.
But you be on the road so much, you out of town, like you gonna do you.
It's still mine.
That's how most men think, Antonio. I can get all the therapy I want, but most men think like that.
Most men think like that, according to this esteemed panel. But wait, it gets even better.
Okay, you don't gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Ideally, like to Tonio's point, because it's like we've been friends for a really long time, and he's seen me go through multiple heartbreaks, and it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm over it. But it's just like what?
He looks so concerned. He said no.
He said no, she ain't.
Shut up, I'm over it. But no, it's just like, damn, I forgot what I said because I'm like, am I over?
She's like, damn, I don't think I am.
I was like,
you like thinking of a name in your head, like, damn, I wonder what this nigga doing.
Shit. But no, it's just like, yeah, I do love. I would love a one-person relationship. Like that's all. My parents are still together, so that's what I saw, and it's very uncomfortable for my mom to hear how I talk now too, because I'm like, I don't want a husband. I don't want a boyfriend. I want a baby, but that's it. But I don't ever see myself in a relationship. They distract me and slow me down. Like I'd be like, for what?
Yeah, you're a hard
but
worker.
I want to be cuddled and loved, so let's have a.
Gotta settle for.
That's the modern woman, working woman's idea.
This gets better. Well, I don't know if better is the right word, but there's more. How about that?
Certain times in your life, dude, put dicks on my bitch either. There's only certain times in your life that you meet your soulmate, right?
I don't want to hear this shit.
So you let other people fuck your soulmate?
Anybody can be your soulmate. That's your soulmate. And you want to let somebody else put dick in it?
What is our freak in this man's break? Other men fuck your soulmate?
Not your
but that is true though. If it's your soulmate, you let other people fuck your soulmate.
Maybe it's your soulmate because
your soulmate.
But maybe
It's
she's
just
a soulmate because she lets him be who he really is.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to pretend to be something
What
he's
does
not.
that even mean? That's good conversation shit. Let me be who I really am.
Yes.
Listen,
A lot of people
what I'm
have to
saying
front
is
and
sometimes,
change that.
sometimes sex is just sex. Like nobody is like infiltrating her like true feelings, emotions, this shit that she is and the way she is with me. Like it's literally just sex.
Yeah.
And that's just like going to the gym, having a damn workout partner. Like it's just that. It's just only that activity. I'm not putting any equity into these women. I'm not like doing anything that like matters or stands the test of time. It's literally just sex. So yeah, she could still be my soulmate. If she, what if I'm out of town? I'm gone 6 months. Like she should be able to get some dick.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Hell yeah. This bitch was fucking eligible right now.
She's like, this nigga got one more hour before he home. Let me.
If your lady out here fucking other men, she don't respect you.
But if she telling you the truth, that's respect.
Bitch lie.
Yeah, but he's
the
so
same
you want
thing.
to lie.
It's the same. Am I bullshitting? It's the same thing. The same thing.
You're very traditional.
I'm non-traditional.
No, you traditional. You think men should be able to
But even the biology favors our argument. A girl could only get pregnant by one guy. We can impregnate millions of girls.
Right, I agree with that. It's natural for a man to want to sway and find new vagina. And that's why I don't feel that monogamous relationships are something that people should aspire for.
A lot of people don't have shit else to offer but sex. That's it.
And that's why I think you smash somebody on the side, but not be the one that you're actually with your soulmate.
Yep.
Ain't nobody else fucking my
Ain't nobody
soulmate.
fucking my soulmate. Dang.
So much to unpack in all of that. I'll be honest with you, I was taken aback, to say the least, from that conversation the first when I heard it, and it somewhat disturbed me. Because I didn't hear young women who were these confident, awoke women who now have decided I'm going to have relationship and love on my terms and blah, 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 blah. I just hear, and at one point in the interview, one of the guys asked one of the girls, he said, it feels like this is trauma. It doesn't feel like you have arrived at some epiphany. It just feels like this is unresolved trauma. And she said, well, yeah, it is. But I now feel more confident and comfortable because at least I know what's happening. And I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I want to start with the women. Your overall reaction, first of all, and then we'll dive into some of the specifics of what we heard in the entirety of the interview and unpack some of the other stuff. But just your overall thoughts of what you heard so far.
It sounds like we're raising a generation of women with low expectations.
Low expectations. Okay.
Very low. They're not expecting anything of men. They're not expecting to receive any level of respect. They have just decided, the young lady who talked about seeing this in her neighborhood, that is the way it is, and that is going to have to be what they accept if they are going to have any relationship. And that is sad.
It's kind of scary. At least it's I mean, and by the way, I do understand what she's saying. If you have been conditioned and you live, you know, the example that I would give and offer to people tonight, and Al B's in the building. For those y'all don't know, Al B in the building. Good to see Al B. The example that I would give everybody, just that is probably in par with what we're talking about, would be Richard Pryor. I don't know how Richard Pryor was ever supposed to have a really truly normal existence based on what he was exposed to. He was, I mean, he lived in a brothel.
Yeah.
So how do you, and men are leaving their wives to come to the brothel, and women are getting paid in the brothel. So if that is your existence, and that's basically what this young lady's saying. She's saying, I was raised around people in my family was cheating. My daddy was cheating. My uncles was cheating. Everybody in my neighborhood was cheating. I got cheated on. She said, I got cheated on since junior high. So if that is your existence and nothing ever interrupts that journey, I don't know how you're supposed to have a monogamous normality. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't know. And I feel my heart just was bleeding for those girls. I'm like, Jesus, this is woo. But on the other side, well, before I get to that part, Mama Noise, your thoughts. I didn't give you a chance to respond. Go ahead. What's your thoughts? And Al.
All I could think of when I saw the video is it grieved me. It grieved me when I just listening to her and listening to the guys, and the guys were like, it don't matter. One of the same girl was only one girl on. No, one of the girls was the guest and one was the actual host. The girl that was a guest, she was like, no man should have to be married to the same vagina for the rest of their life.
Mercy.
They should be able to go wherever they want. I was like, oh my gosh. But then when she started telling her story about what she witnessed, like Mr. Noise said, I understand why she felt that, maybe that's just the way it is. And I need to adapt to the fact that men can't be in a monogamous relationship. There is no such thing as a traditional marriage when she's never witnessed one. Mm-hmm. And then when she spoke from the trauma from high school, I'm going, daggone. I mean, we've all experienced trauma from high school, but it doesn't make us hopeless. That heartbreak happened, so I ain't even gonna, try to, find, a better situation in my life. I'm just gonna accept the fact that that's the way it is, and that's the way it's always gonna be. But it really hurt me because another guy on the video said, well, dang, you sound like you need some therapy. You and your husband need some therapy. And she was like, what's the therapist gonna do? He gets to do whatever he wants or whatever. But to me, it sounds like she's so confused and she's so hurt. And, she's in a dark place, even though she's absolutely gorgeous. She's in a dark place because she was like, well, as long as I know the lady and as long as she know me, so she ain't holding no secret over my head. How immature is that? What do you mean? That person's holding a secret over your head. And then she's like, well, and I need to know her. She need to know me, and we need to know each other. So as long as we being honest, you're saying honesty is the only thing, like Alicia, like you said, that's the only requirement that you have is I just need to know who you're cheating on, who you're cheating with, and you can cheat with however many people you want, just as long as I'm in the loop and aware of the situation, and make sure you let me know when, and I need to know all the preliminaries. I mean, I need to know all of the details, and it's like, are you freaking kidding me? What's the point in being married then if you got all these liberties? Then why go? And I'm not trying to preach none, but why even go before a holy God and ask? I mean, will he take this woman? What's the point in doing that? What's the point in saying for better, for worse, for richer, for poor? What's the point in doing all that? If all you saying is, long as I get to go and get some sex from whoever I want, as long as I get that, I'll tell you who it is. I'll even let you have a number and say, girl, just want you to know, that's the way it is in our household. I just gotta let my wife know where you stay at. I gotta let her know your number and everything, so in case she need to reach out and talk to you. What kind of tomfoolery is that? And for her to think that much of herself, you don't think enough of yourself to think that you are more valuable than that.
But now, Mama Noise, here's the other side of what you just said. That ain't what she said. It ain't that she don't think that about herself as much as she said, I don't think men are capable of doing it. She said, I don't think men are capable of being monogamous. And by the way, Kyrie's in the building. I don't know if you announced that, Mama Noise, but Kyrie is in the building. Yeah, I played audio of it instead of the actual video. The video is way too long. It's about 38 minutes or whatever. But it is a lot. And again, she said she doesn't think men are capable. And by the way, there was a man on the panel who said he was in an open relationship and his girl lets him do whatever it is he wants to do. Now she didn't want to know. Unlike the other girl, she didn't want to know. She was more like, just don't bring nothing home and don't be romancing them. She said, as long as you're not what was the word? I think investing in them. I think is the term she used. As long as you're not investing in these girls, we're fine. And
that's like, bananas.
But she does not understand that, and she may not have said it. There is a level of lack of self-respect here that she has for herself. You do not allow people to treat you in a way you would not accept unless you have an issue with your own self-respect. I understand about being raised in an environment, but if you decide that I do not want to have a relationship like the ones I was seeing when I was growing up, there is no one who's going to change that in you unless you let them.
Kyrie's in the building, aka Mr. Uncork Wine, aka Mr. Ron Nolan. Al B's in the building. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts to what you've heard so far? A lot to unpack about these open relationships. Because I'm finding out after you do the research, I'm finding out this is becoming a thing. This is not just a small thing. This is becoming a normality in today's society. Women are, for lack of a better phrasing, giving up and saying, listen, I get it. Men, you want what you want. And so I'll open up my spirit and have what I want. Because I'm familiar with both of the ladies in the show. And they have openly admitted that they have had other relationships outside. Now, they're not as brazen and vocal about those relationships as the guys are, but they talked about they've had relationships and outside of the marriage, but they communicate that with their spouse, and that's the situation that they're in. So I don't know, but Al, Kyrie, what y'all think about Ryan? What y'all think about all this?
It is my assessment that, just like the gentleman in the show said, it's trauma. Mm-hmm. It's unresolved trauma being disguised as women's liberation. Men have been doing it. Now we just, beating them at the game. No, it's unresolved trauma. Just because that's the environment you were raised in doesn't make it not unbroken. It doesn't make it right or norm or whatever the case may be. I would say anytime that one individual, spouse, significant other, partner, whatever the case may be, is not enough, then there's a problem. There's some things that need to be worked out, fixed. I would never be in favor of an open relationship. Ever.
Ron, what you thinking?
I didn't get to hear it at the very beginning, so I'm about to go and listen to it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of with you, Lord. I said it's the norm. I mean, it's becoming more and more acceptable and the norm in a lot of the generations now. I mean, it's amazing how much of that is out there today. I mean, it's shocking to see how much of that
it really is.
What does that say about the female that the wife, the whatever girlfriend or whatever that said it's okay, as long as you don't romance her, and what does that say about that female that's willing to be in that position but not receive all those benefits?
Extras.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be romanced and whatever she said her stipulations was. What does that say about you that you're willing to go along with that?
Well, I think it says what you said, Al. It's unresolved trauma. Well, I mean, and even think about what the other young lady said, that as long as you're honest to me that you're doing it, we're fine. So the guy calls her up from Philadelphia and says, "Are you girl X?" And she says, "Yes. I just want to let you know your man is cheating on you." And she calls the girl's name. Oh, with Tiffany. Oh yeah, my man hits that every time he comes to your city. He been doing it for 2 years. Wait, why? First of all, why are you okay with that? The thing that blows my mind with the whole thing is and again, I couldn't do it. I'm not built that way. I'm too old school and I'm too traditional, and my personal belief system won't allow me to follow in that trend. But I the other part of me is I just don't know if I can look my wife in the eye on a day-to-day basis and constantly reinforce to her that she's not enough. That to me, that's the part. And then the other side of it is, how does she stay truly committed and engaged in a marriage where you're being constantly shown that you're not enough?
It can't be a marriage.
No.
Well, it's their version of it. I mean,
she said
I would bet you any amount of money. You look down the line, 3, 4, 5 years, these people ain't gonna be together.
Well, they've been doing this 14 years. They've been doing it 14 years.
You know what? I think you cannot sustain, because eventually somebody, whether it's true or not, feels like, well, you done caught feelings for this other person. You seeing her too many times.
Yeah.
Right? All of a sudden, you was only seeing her on trips when you were in town. Now you making special trips out of town to go see her. So now I feel like you're giving her too much attention or spending too much time with her. It may be at 14 now, but I'm telling you, these will not be people who will be married for 25, 30, 40, 50 years.
And we're giving them too much credit. They only been married for 8.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
There you go.
They've been together. They've been together.
I mean, I don't know. I know you all been married for a while. I've been married for 26 years. We know there are, what do we call, milestones along the way, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, where your marriage shifts. Things change. We are at the empty nester stage right now, right? Our marriage is shifting. We know it is, but we are actively taking steps to make sure that shift is not a negative shift, that's a positive shift. Right. And we reorient ourselves in our marriage together. In order to do that, everybody's got to be all in. And if you 1 foot in and 1 foot out, how is everybody all in?
I want to go to Anthony Bruce's question, because it ties into something I was going to ask later anyway, but I'm gonna ask it now. He says, "Is the outside sex that important?" And in the podcast, they mentioned that You know, they want to get all they can, and you know, this is how they're one of the relationships that have been going on forever. And I guess in my mind, I'm trying to understand how I don't get it. I guess I'm trying to understand. Why I say you're gonna be married if you're not done. Like if you're not done with chasing women, why?
But does it
I
go
don't
back
understand.
to?
Go ahead.
But does it go back to what we consider marriage versus what people consider marriage now? It's not the same. The definition of marriage isn't the same as it was 40 years ago. Look at it today. People are not treating marriage the same as they used to treat marriage.
And they've customized the ceremony so that they don't. I don't have to stand before a justice of the peace.
True.
So I'm swearing by law. I don't have to stand before a minister. I'm swearing before God. Now I can go get Bubba, who got his certificate, and then we can write our own vows that don't say I promise to love, honor, cherish, and obey till death do us part. So we customize the ceremony to accommodate our lifestyle instead of changing our lifestyle
to accommodate
marriage.
Because think about it, marriage became a show.
How they treat, look at how they treat marriage. I mean, look at J-Lo. How many times that girl been married?
A lot.
A lot, right?
A lot. Yeah.
A marriage is like, I'm gonna be real frank here. How they treat a baby. A baby is an accessory you get, right? You just go out and get you one. You ain't got to be married to anybody. You ain't got to.
The young lady said that.
It's like buying one of them little dogs you carry around in your purse. I just got to a certain point, and now I need a baby, so I just go get one.
Although
marriage is like that.
Yeah. Although her friend called her out. He called her out and said, you ain't over your trauma. And I think she knows she's not over her trauma.
But here's something we glossed over. It was probably a 2-3 second soundbite.
Mm-hmm.
She said, D is therapy, ain't it?
I heard her. I did hear that.
Lord.
Yeah, I did hear that.
I missed that.
I heard that foolishness.
Right.
Yeah.
But we heard on one of our sister network podcasts that Ron hosts how important D was in their relationships.
Right.
And that's part of the paradigm. That's part of the shift. Now I just want pleasure. I don't want promise and purpose.
Facts.
I just want pleasure.
So I'm gonna ask
you don't need promise and purpose when you can interchange as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Why do
I agree with you. Why get married?
And that's the thing. Marriage now is a status symbol. It's checking a box in life.
Checking a box.
I got married.
Yeah.
I had this big. I wanted to do it. I wanted this glamorous wedding. I wanted blah blah blah.
But the thing is, Ron, our young ladies nowadays don't even have that dream. They don't even have dreams of a fairy tale wedding. That just like that young lady said, I just want a baby. I don't need a man.
Yeah.
But let me ask the elephant question in the room.
Yes, Lord.
Is monogamy?
You ask the question. Are you talking to me?
Which one?
No.
I said I'm going to ask.
I got on gray today, so.
Okay, let me try this again. Let me ask a question in the room that's just kind of lingering there. How about that? Is monogamy in 2022 an unattainable thing? And what I mean by that is, I'm not talking about people who historically have already gotten married and are walking and functioning in monogamy, but those who are trying to get it based on the rules today. Is it really something that's attainable, or are we the ones that don't understand that the rules have changed and that you can't get monogamy today? It does not exist in the form that we know it as. And that's why these women are adapting or adjusting their lifestyle. Because maybe that's the problem. We're trying to hold today's woman to yesterday's standards. And maybe that's the problem. Yesterday's standards don't exist anymore.
You got a soundbite for that, don't you?
Because
I do.
Because you are trying to check off boxes instead of really truly waiting for the person you're supposed to be with. You just want to do what your girlfriends are doing. You want to get that done. You want to have that, get the husband, get the house, get the baby, or get the baby, get the husband, whatever, whichever order you doing it in.
Mm.
You don't have any patience. You don't set any expectations of anyone. You may end up with the wrong person just because you felt like I have reached 27 and a half, and at 27 and a half, I'm supposed to be married and have babies.
And see, Alicia, I'm gonna push back just a little bit, just for the conversation purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can hear these young women saying, with all due respect, Miss Alicia, you don't understand what it's like today. We are being patient, but when every guy you meet is saying, I don't want that, I just want to be free, then now we're talking about a different paradigm. We're not talking about the odds will work in your favor at some point. Now we're talking about a full-on cultural paradigm shift where everybody is saying the exact same thing. And the best example I can give you is that for a guy like Lil Nas X to feel so, or this new cat, he's a hefty dude. What is this young man's name? Something saucy.
Yeah, I seen it.
I know what I'm talking about. Saucy something. But he's a heavy dude. But he dressed. Both of them dressed in women's clothes and all kinds of stuff. When society has shifted to such a degree that nobody's willing to say, "Bro, you are wilding," they won't even call him out. Now we're all just accepting it as normal. Or the new phrase or the politically correct phrase is he's living his truth.
Yeah.
Or we don't want the smoke.
Yeah.
Because as soon as there's something that we don't like, or that we say something about that we feel different than everyone else, then all of a sudden you get all the smoke when all you simply saying is, I don't agree with that. But then, oh, you're fat shaming. Oh, you're homophobic. Oh, you're transphobic. Oh, it's everything when you're just simply saying this is wrong.
But we
gotta be careful with that too, though. We can say somebody's truth is wrong. That's literally our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We can't, we want to hold them to our standard, but people are going to make their own decision. You gotta let them make their own decision.
I'm not trying to get them.
You do have the right to say whatever you want.
You should, but
you have the right. It's just up to you if you're gonna listen to the people's backlash. I mean, sometimes people are gonna say stuff that you ain't gonna like, and you know how we always say, you can tell them kiss your black and go on about your business. They're gonna say, but they're gonna talk about you till the day you die.
And I'm not so concerned with those kind of issues as we're talking about heterosexual issues. At this point, we're talking about folks passing around things, bringing babies into the world that they ain't planning on taking care of. And, the population of the world has always had a variety of folks with sexual proclivities, right? That is not new, goes back to ancient times. We know that's not new.
Mm-hmm.
What we're talking about is these heterosexual men who have managed to convince a certain population of women that the best they can get or expect is going to be a man that will never respect you or the relationship you're in. And that
is
unacceptable. That I understand that you may have seen that, but I hope at some point you saw someone or one couple that was what you would aspire to be. We talk about this fairy tale wedding. A wedding is a beautiful thing. It lasts one day. A marriage is for a lifetime.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to be. And unless everybody in the relationship understands what the expectations of the other are, and you may have to have a conversation about it, and he might not agree, and that's cool. But that just means you can't marry me.
And it goes back, if you pick the wrong partner and you know y'all get into it and he doesn't want to change, leave him. I mean,
that's right.
I know we want him to stay and work it out, but sometimes get cut and run. I mean,
you know whether that's going to actually change, or he just saying he's gonna change.
But I want to go back.
I ain't saying I'm pushing divorce on people, but
no, but life is short, and while it be great if there was that next life, but we don't know that. So you got this one to get what you can get out of it. You have a right to happiness.
I was just gonna say, I really wish Jay was here because I would love to hear if this is fighting for your marriage. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I really would like to know, would this be considered a form of fighting for your marriage? Because he's an advocate of, through it all, whatever the circumstance, stay married. So I would be curious if this is.
I mean, under normal circumstances, I would agree.
Is the reason to leave.
But if you've been told that I'm going to continue to do this, this is just how I am, this is just what I need, what are you fighting for? You ain't fighting for a marriage, because that's not what that is.
I mean,
you're fighting at that point not to be alone, just to not be alone.
Right. You just afraid to be by yourself.
I mean, listening to her talk about, well, as long as I know what's going on, it's like, it sounds so bizarre. You like, okay.
Well,
but let me pause both of you on that. Let me pause both of you on that real quick, because I want to go back to what someone was saying earlier. It sounds bizarre to us, but we are not in the current climate. And I have, like you said, Alicia, you've been married 26 years. Me and Mama Noise been married 23 years. Ron, you've been married 20 plus years, right? And Al, you was married a long time as well. So we are not from this generation. We don't know nothing. Now Al is dating in this current climate, so he's seeing some of it, but he's not dating down. So he don't see the totality of what's really going on. Yeah. But in this new climate, there may be a reality, guys, that we need to understand, in that the rules have dramatically changed. Like it is, there are, because I don't think this is based on the way that conversation unfolds, this doesn't feel like this is an uncommon factor.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're looking at a small percentage of people and making it a larger percentage of people.
And see, I don't know if that's true, Ron. Go ahead, Al.
It's not a small percentage of people. Ron, in this climate, if I had a desire to be a dog, I mean, just a low down, dirty dog, it'd be easy. Anything goes in this climate. There's nobody's being held accountable.
But I would tell you,
I wanted to be that type of person.
Yeah, think about all of these children who have existed out of wedlock, our generation and the generation before. You could always be a dog. You could always be a dog. We talking about the fathers who were married and had a whole nother family across town. That is not a new phenomenon.
It's not, Alicia,
always
it's not.
be a dog.
It's
Alicia,
not new,
it's
but
not.
the females in this society have made it easier.
I was gonna say, you took the words right out of my mouth. Now, the thing that changed, Alicia, and you work at the college, so the university, so you see this, I'm sure. What has shifted is women have decided, if y'all gonna play this game and you're never gonna change, then now we're gonna play the game with you.
Then you need to worry about what game are they playing that you don't know about? Because she did make a statement that was true. Women are better at this than men are.
And she said, and I've heard her say it before, so I was very familiar with her journey. She said, I'm doing my own thing. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
I am doing my own thing.
But that conversation old boy was having about his soulmate. You want somebody sticking it to your soulmate. Your soulmate?
That was crazy. That was
when
bananas.
you out of town, trust and believe. Don't get it twisted that if you think you getting away with something, she's getting away with probably twice as much because she can keep her mouth shut.
And Twitter just reported in, Al, that you should get in a relationship with a 25-year-old, have an open relationship, and just report back to us. If you're willing to do that, Al, we would much like on like Love Connection, we would fund your first date, but you'd be responsible for every date after that. So
and Al, if you don't want to do 25, we'll go 30. You can even do 30.
There is not enough metoprolol to afford me the opportunity to be with a 25-year-old.
To afford you. Right. Don't underestimate your life experience. You may have all the qualifications you need.
Because them young ones, they want the old ones now. They don't want them young cats anymore.
Well, and do we know why?
Right.
We know why, right? We all know why. Okay.
I get off of work 6:30. I plan to have a shower and supper and be in bed by 7:30.
You gonna have to loosen up on them rules. You gonna have to stay up until at least 9.
9 or 10.
9 or 10. I find this a little sad only because I think about my son. I have a 22-year-old son who has been looking for a wife. I would tell you, he says girlfriend. I say he's been looking for a wife since he was in middle school. And it ain't working. But his ideal is what he grew up looking at. And so now I have a black son who's looking for a lifetime commitment to a woman and cannot find her. Now, I'm happy he's just not taking what's available. And he lives on a college campus, as you said. There's a lot available. Okay. Girl, you should see the freshmen, the limited amount of clothes they wear to class is amazing.
It is ironic that you said that because I received a text from my son just today, who is a student at U of L. And my son said, Daddy, why do these girls on campus think it's cool or acceptable to wear white tank tops with no bra?
Oh, yes. Oh, because they just got away from their parents.
Right.
Because they just got away from their parents. And whatever those rules were that they were living under, my son is a senior living on campus, right? We don't really separate them floors no more. It's not an all boy floor, all girl floor. Everybody's mixed together.
Oh, Lord.
And my son is a prude, right? Compared to the rest of the dudes on campus, he's not wanting that girl that won't wear no clothes. But
you gotta think they were doing that. They was doing that
Come
even in
on,
the house
I know,
with the
know.
white t-shirt on with no bra. They was
Oh,
they just got
oh,
to get away from their mama. And they was doing that at home.
We see them walk across campus. They just got free. That's exactly what they're flexing that their sexuality is what they're doing, which is something they couldn't do before.
But then also they're thinking that, if I recall, you're thinking that, what is it that's gonna get me chose?
Right.
And if they think that all the men look at, or young men or whatever, they're all checking for Meg the Stallion. They're all checking for, all these girls that are scantily Cardi B and all these different rappers or whatever, the music and stuff they're listening to. Then they're like, okay, if those girls are getting chose, those girls are on the come up or whatever, then I need to make sure that I catch one of these, especially at college. You like one of these bros that's gonna be going to the NFL or the NBA or some level of success. I need to make sure that when he see me, I stand out. But I mean, our daughter is in the chat moderating the show tonight, and she's 22, and she's listening to us on the show daily, going, man. Like, y'all be talking like, I said, okay, this is what our generation, this is, what we understand. Now, she's 22. And I'm sure she's like, okay, excuse me, I'm sure she's like, okay, I'm at age 22. Y'all talking about open relationships. Ain't nobody committed. Everybody's just, it's just all a big gumbo. Where is there a chance? You got Jeremiah saying, is there why these girls dress like this? You got your son saying, what is happening? Our daughter is saying, what's going on? It's almost like we have to go back to, and I mean, dare I say it, it's almost like we have to go back to, Alicia, your son is 22 and he's single. Well, then I need to introduce him to our 22-year-old daughter that's saying she don't want to be out here just winging it and stuff. She's looking for somebody to be a friend to. She ain't trying to hop off into a relationship. She ain't trying to find somebody to slide in the DMs. She just wants somebody to talk to, just want a friend. That's why we push so hard. And sometimes, a lot of times, we get a lot of pushback. We keep saying, what's wrong with being friends with people? Why everybody's so hot in the collar trying to hurry up and jump in the sack? What is the hurry? What is the rush? Why do we, as he said, why do we need the D for the therapy? Why you can't go get yourself some help? You need the trauma and stuff you're dealing with right now. You need to get that dealt with before you even step to talking about getting into a relationship. Clearly, he married her or whatever. He knew her back, knew her like longer than when they've been married. So he knew he was dealing with somebody who had been, as Cuz always says, broken and damaged and stuff woman, and was like, girl, if you just down with the cause, then then we can go ahead and do this. And
maybe that's exactly why he chose her.
That I'm thinking that as well, because I'm sitting there going, now her husband, I'm not trying to throw shade, he all right, but I'm sitting there saying to settle and be like, right. I'm saying
that's almost like saying no offense.
Right. And then you offend the shit out of somebody.
It's like they talk about, child molesters grooming folks. You ain't looking for the girl who's confident and ain't gonna take your crap.
Fact.
You looking for the one that's already messed up, because you can walk right over her and tell her anything.
We as a society have just nonchalantly, haphazardly replaced being honored with being chosen.
Yep.
We are content with being chosen. Like, he chose me or she chose me.
Yes.
Never mind being honored, cherished, admired, and treated like a queen and a king. Just satisfied with being chosen.
Yeah.
That's a sad indictment on the status of
and you replace that community. And you replace that honor by, and to get that chosen by just doing it based on looks.
Yeah.
You want to be chosen because of your look.
Oh, it's the bare minimum.
It used to be you wasn't chosen just because.
Yeah, it's the bare minimum, Ron. You don't have to have character. You don't have to have integrity. You don't have to have honesty. Well, according to her, the honesty has to be honesty in the sense of, yeah, I'm doing dirt and I'm telling you that I'm doing it. I'm just doing it in your face, which I don't know what kind of honesty that is.
I don't know. I don't either.
I don't understand that either.
Right, but I guess that's honesty if you telling somebody what you're doing.
But here's the thing. Remember in that clip, she said he asked the question, well, has anybody just randomly called your man? She was like, no, because we better.
Yeah.
So sounds like you're not being open.
You're not getting all the information
But maybe he doesn't want to know, because I would imagine men, we don't want to know.
But being being a cheater is different than being open. Sounds like she's just cheating.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is, in their arrangement, I agree with you, Al. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying at all. But I guess what I'm saying is, in their arrangement, to me, I took it as they have an understanding of he has to tell her what she's doing for it to be okay. Whereas he does not want to know. Just go do what you're going to do and don't bring it back to me. As long as it don't get back to me, we good.
Then help me with why Alicia's calling you to tell you your husband is cheating, if in fact you're supposed to be he's supposed to be sharing that information.
Well, because she thought she could get the upper hand. That's what she said.
She thought he's supposed to tell me and you supposed to let her know, so she thinks she don't have anything up on me, and she calling you to let you know. Well, obviously he didn't tell her.
No, that's not true. That's not true. He did tell her, and she knew. So when the girl called and said, "I'm sleeping with your man," she's like, "I know who you are. I know your address and everything."
He was supposed to be telling the woman he's sleeping with that his wife knows. So he did not do that part. He left that out.
I don't know if that's a part. I don't know if that's a part of the arrangement or not. I didn't get that.
That's how she explained it at the beginning of that video. I know who she is, and she knows, so she don't think she has something up on me.
Yeah,
that is exactly.
No. I didn't take it that way. In fact, I don't think that's what they meant. I think she was saying, "I know." Now, whether she knows or not don't really matter to me.
Go back and listen to that tape, because I think she clearly stated that the woman was supposed to be informed.
That's what I thought she said as well. Is that
she didn't think she had anything
right? So so that she don't have an upper hand on her,
right?
That she was informed. So everybody need to know everybody, and it shouldn't be no surprises according to what she said in the beginning of the video.
Trust me, I was listening because she called that girl Alicia.
Yep.
Which
about first name.
I'm gonna tell
you. Did you take it personal, Alicia?
Just on a very visceral level.
She said, "Now wait a minute,
Alicia."
It be your son. Her turn to be open.
Let's go back and listen just real quick. Now I'm curious. Because I didn't take it the same way.
The very beginning of
I remember which one it was. Yeah, I got it. Give me a second here. You just got to cue it up because it's
it was a lot.
A lot.
Here we go.
I'm married. Okay. I've been with my man for 14. I met him 14 years ago. We've been together for 12 years. I've been married to him for 8 years. It's open. We're hella happy. The rule in our relationships is that there's several rules, but one of the rules is that I have to know who the person is, and they have to know that I know, because I don't want her to think she has a secret over me, like the bitch in Baby Boy that was like at the job with Taraji, like giving her a look. So there's no secrets, and it's kind of funny because some people will come to me and try to tell me some stuff that happened, and I'll be like, "Oh, you Tasha, you live in Philly? Yeah, he had a show out there last week. Like, you're not telling me nothing."
To know his
exactly.
host.
So then they're like, I had a dude that was on my Facebook, like,
okay, but here's my question to that: how is that an advantage?
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
Like, I don't understand how that's. I don't get how that's an advantage.
Not only is it not, but he's not doing it. That's why people are showing up telling you that I was with your man, because she don't know.
Because he broke the rule, so technically
he's breaking
cheating
the rule on the
because he broke the rule.
Yes.
And Lloyd, you just said the other day that when you saw them last, that it looked like some strife there with her, with even with just them trying to act like everything is okay. Like she said, we just hella happy, and no, you're not. This is not.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. And Mama Noise, you can't keep a secret for shit.
I ain't saying no names.
I am familiar with the couple. I know the couple.
You said that already.
Right. So, but I didn't want to go to that length.
I'm saying
I was trying to be real general and vague.
It's not only toxic. It's getting ready to it's going to break down, because I'm letting you know. I'm with Alicia from the beginning. This bruh knew that this woman had low self-esteem. She's gorgeous. She don't know she's gorgeous, and she done seen all this other stuff around her or whatever. And so she's thinking that this is the best I'm gonna get. And he like, cool. And
hold on one second, because I gotta clear this up real quick. Is it Alicia or Alicia? Because it's spelled Alicia.
You are absolutely right, and you are actually pronouncing it correctly.
That's what I thought. Okay.
However, I live in the state of Kentucky, and they don't pronounce anything correctly.
Right.
So I answer to Alicia.
So what Alicia has done is to these ladies.
That ain't my name, damn it.
Hey, what Alicia has done is she has had to conform her life to these people that will not pronounce her name right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, I got this beautiful guest on. I don't want to keep pronouncing her name.
To use Mama Noise's phrase, facts.
There you go. Okay, go ahead, Mama Noise. I just had to get that out because I was feeling bad. I was like, I'm calling this woman bad or wrong.
You are doing excellent. It's Spanish.
Thank you.
Alicia is correct.
That's what I thought. Okay, all right, there you go.
This relationship is on there's some trouble brewing, because if they can't even function together, and it's supposed to be just something trivial like a game or whatever, and you saw the tension, and you sitting there going, okay, this is supposed to be, but you can see that this dude is like, in other words, long as I'm married to her, she ain't going nowhere, and I get to get all that I can get. I got the green light to go wherever I want and be with whoever I want.
Let's dive into that for just a second, because that you revealing more than what I wanted you to, but that's fine. We here now, so we ain't got no choice. We gotta keep going. How do you? I'm trying to understand how you maintain this, because. How do you love somebody? Because so let me say it this way. I'm trying to find the best way to phrase this. Love to me is more action than it is verbal, right? Mm-hmm. And so the action of physical touch, intimacy, all of those things is one of the more personable and direct acts that you can have to accentuate what you feel for someone else. We all agree with that?
Agree.
Okay. Can I ask a hypothetical?
Absolutely.
Do I have to use your definition of love?
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. And therein lies the problem. So we can stop right there, Al. We can stop right there, because if that definition is not the working definition, then maybe therein lies the problem. So what do we think? Because it feels like, and I said this earlier, it feels like the definition of what love is today is not the definition that we use. It's a new, more broad, more open, if I can use that term I can't find a better term, but more open terminology that allows for a lot of gray.
Mm-hmm. It's not an emotional connection in their love.
And I would say
it's just physical.
Yeah. When you're 20, 22, you don't have any idea what it is anyway.
But Alicia,
you don't really know.
But Alicia, the girl and the guy,
Yeah,
one
but
of the main woman that we're talking about is in her 40s.
I was gonna say she's a grown woman.
Okay, but let's think about this.
Right.
You mature through your marriage, right? Nobody stays in one place. You are not the same human you were when the day you got married. You mature. Right. Some people mature more quickly than other people. And a lot of that is based on nurture, how you were raised. Some of it's based on nature. So even in your 40s, you can still be immature with respect to relationships with people. But when you get married, say, I'll use myself as an example. I was 26, he was 27. 26 years later, we are not the same people that we were.
Right.
The problem with this philosophy of love is somebody's going to mature out of this idea. Somebody's going to start looking around, and whether they noticed it before or not, notice, well, wait a minute, those people have been married for 8 years, and this is what their relationship looks like. And they don't look nothing like what my relationship is. This is not what I want. This is just what I got.
Can you wait somebody out? So can she wait him out and he mature to your example? Can she wait him out and at some point he go, you know what? I think I had all I could stand, and she's my best friend, and I want to now just be because if you've done all what you're gonna do, and then you say I've reached the end of the road, now I want to be 100% monogamous going forward. Can you erase the damage? I mean,
I don't think you can never erase the damage, but I would tell you, I think that there are women who are already doing that. And there have been in our generation and generations before, because, there's always somebody, think about them funerals, who took care of him in his old age when them kids that don't nobody know about show up at the funeral look just like him. Okay. And then all of a sudden, well, she knew about them.
Don't you be talking about my aunts and uncles.
Right. You knew about them kids. That child that walked through the door looked just like him. Nobody never seen them. There are women who have done that forever.
But see, she's been, like she said, she knew him. They was together 12 years, and then they've been married 8 or something like that. And I'm going, how much longer, Papa Smurf? How much longer does one have to wait, trying to wait on your tail to mature? I mean, so I need to wait till you get broke down, busting and disgusting. I need to wait till you get in a wheelchair. I need to wait till you get some type of disease that's going to have you broke down.
The fact that they in an open relationship says that they didn't wait long enough.
Ramel, what I'm getting ready to say is exactly why Ramel was concerned with me being on the ship.
So who wanted
until his PSA test comes back wrong? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
So who in that interview? Who wanted the open relationship?
What?
In that interview that y'all talked about, who wanted the open relationship? Because we're assuming the guy wanted it.
Ooh,
do we know who actually wanted
it? It appears that it was one of those things where, because of her trauma, she kind of maybe she may have set the expectation herself, but because I don't know if this is a difficult question to answer, because I don't know per se, but based on what she said in the interview and my familiarity, I'll leave it at that. It appears that there was an understanding, between a mutual understanding of I don't think you're capable of it, but I also understand historically that that's just how it is. So I'm willing to acquiesce if you're willing to be honest about what you're doing.
I think I understand now. I think perhaps it's her defense mechanism that says, I don't want to get hurt again like she's been hurt since she was in junior high school and forward. that she says, I'm going to create this situation to keep myself from getting hurt.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Well, it's her idea of control.
Yes, she's trying to control
of this situation.
Right.
Well, she's trying to minimize the pain level.
But
because here's the thing, here's the reality. Let's call a spade a spade. She's still in pain.
Yes.
Because you're not going to, I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
sorry. And I have the for their abilities and talents, I have the highest respect. But here's the reality. You're not going to convince me that in the quiet spaces of your mind, you are not sitting there wondering, why am I not enough?
Every time you leave the house.
Listen.
I that's hard for me to believe.
I'll bring it home every time he answers the phone or checks a text message or whatever. It's old girl from Philly. It's old girl from Atlanta. It's old girl from Cali. It's old girl from, I mean, really?
Yeah.
Really? And you're supposed to be able to walk around and say you're Mrs.?
Yeah.
That's a slap in your own face.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that part. Al, I mean, Ron, you looking like
no, I was again just asking the question because I know a lot of times we like to beat up the dude that is the guy's idea, but there's a lot of women who are putting that idea out there and they're pushing that idea.
I don't know if they're pushing the idea. I would say they are likely accepting the lowest common denominator.
I think they've given up. I think
they can get.
Yeah, I think they've given up.
What did they give up on?
They're giving up on the fantasy
fairy tale.
Yeah, they're giving up on the fantasy
fairy tale.
Right, they're giving up on the fantasy of thinking I can have a truly monogamous, he only loves me, he only wants me style of relationship. And again, and Al, you like I said, you the only one of us out there now. That feels like the culture and the atmosphere now. It does feel like women are saying and men are saying, why are we trying to have this fantasy? We all know that we can't control ourselves, and let's just go on and be free and stop putting those old school ways upon new school realities.
And I mean, and what Lloyd is saying, I would tell you that men have accepted this idea that in order to be cool, woke, modern, whatever, I must be able to be a hoe. I must be able to pull all these women and sleep with all these women to prove that I'm a man. They bought into that.
But that hasn't changed since I've been born.
I would tell you that is not
the guy. The guy
that is not
the guy who wanted to be,
even for men. Even for men.
I'm saying that since I've been born, I'm 48.
Yep.
We've always been taught to be a hoe.
But why?
And I'm just saying we was always taught that it was the baseline.
Why was that?
But your fathers taught you that. Your fathers taught you that.
My family
your uncles taught you that.
Hold on, so you hear each other. Go ahead.
But I'm saying your fathers taught you to be a hoe.
Weren't taught that.
But I'm saying the boys in our family, the mans that were in our family, and the other families that I know, they were taught that, and they were taught that from the guys from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s.
Yeah. Even my husband there was an attempt to teach him that. I will be honest with you. I've heard all the stories. There was an attempt to train him up that way, but he actually had sense enough to watch what was the result of that behavior. What happens to the dude who decides I'm gonna be a hoe? You know what happens? What he saw was you end up alone. You end up with kids that won't speak to you. And you end up grown asking somebody who's 20 years younger than you, how can I have a relationship with my kids?
Well, Alicia, you're not wrong, but at the same time, to think that generations of men, and I say plural, generations of men have not been taught that is not real. Right. Generations of men have.
I'm not saying they wasn't taught that, but
hold on. I'm saying that they have been. It is a perpetual problem, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't have so many single mothers. We wouldn't have so many broken homes. We wouldn't have so many broken women, and we wouldn't have women coming to these philosophies. So it absolutely is a thing. My challenge that I'm having with it is, or what's shocking me really is there were more women holding out hope, I thought, than there seems to be now. And now it feels like women are saying, you know what? We're tired of fighting it. If this is what it is, okay, then this is what it is. But here are going to be my standards of what it's going to be now. And so they're not willing to acquiesce to, they've given up on the fantasy. The fantasy's over. So now it's just about, can I get my rocks off? Can I get some semblance of a relationship? Can I get, I don't even know if they're looking for emotional connection. I really, because the thing that's blowing my mind too, Al, and I'm going to bring you back in here for this one. I don't know what you're supposed to be getting out of that. Like, if you're setting a standard where the dude can have as much sex he wants as long as he tells you, or you're setting up a standard where as long as you don't bring home any diseases, or you're not financing or investing in these women emotionally, financially, whatever, you can do whatever you want. Then what exactly are you asking this man to do? Like, I don't know what you're asking from him at that point.
I can't relate, Lloyd, other than to say that there's no benefit I see other than sexual gratification.
For the woman?
Oh, for the man.
For the man. You asked me about the man, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, I guess I'm trying to also understand, and maybe you can answer this question, part of the question. I don't know what the woman is supposed to be getting from this. Like, a guy who is perpetually unsatisfied sexually, and he says, I have to do this, then why are you with him? Like, I don't understand what he's providing, unless he's rich. And you're saying, well, he's providing.
I think honestly, you're asking a rhetorical question, because you yourself have already answered that numerous times on this show, and we've all come to the conclusion that the pool is so thin that they're willing to settle for anything.
Wow.
Simply the fact that I got a man, I might be sharing them with Jill, Jane, Sue, and maybe John even.
That's a possibility.
I'd be possibly single for the rest of my life then, because that's some nonsense right there.
And I tell you, Ken, I will be single before I would consider, let alone commit to an open relationship.
Yeah,
I see no benefit in it whatsoever. Now, is it because I'm in my 50s and I ain't trying to, slang all over town? Maybe that's it, but I see no benefit.
But an open relationship, in my opinion, sometimes you didn't even know you was in an open relationship. You like, when
but that's not an open relationship though, Mama Noise. That ain't an open relationship.
I agree with her.
That's not an open relationship. That's just being cheated on.
What I'm thinking is, a lot of people over several generations have been in open relationships that they just didn't know about.
No, I agree, but that's called being cheated on.
Yeah, the difference now is that people are actually speaking up.
Right, they're talking about it prior to. Right.
Right. But this has always happened. Just now, folks are talking about it, which is a lot of what's happening with a lot of things, right? This generation talks about everything. So this has gone on for millennia. But now we gotten to the point where we think if we talk about it, then we control it.
I gotta let people know that I'm in an open relationship. Okay,
Right.
what?
Well, you know, it's like the mystery woman who he's been with for 15 years around the corner that he's romancing. He's taking care of the household with her. He's taking care of the kids. It's the same thing as the open relationship. It's just the open relationship, you're talking about it. It's in the public eye, so it's no longer hidden. So when you have those kids pop up, you're not, oh God, oh my God, that's brother Mikey from Loretta 5 miles down the damn road.
Kyrie, I don't know if you giving out slide in vibes or what, but or what, but I my mind is like, that's a greedy so and so. Go be with her then. Why you messing with Henrietta and trying to cut around the corner? If you want to be with her, just be with her then. Why you gotta be so greedy? Like, in other words, there's so many women out there. I'm just gonna have some of this and some of that. Just get over there and stay over there then.
But that's a different scenario. I agree with that, Mama Noise. I agree with that. But what we're talking about tonight is people who have openly said, I'm okay with you. I know you can't control yourself. I know you say you got to have it from Sally Mae down the street because she makes good pumpkin pie and she got good vagina. So I know you got to have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you have that pumpkin pie and the vagina as long as you don't make her the main woman. As long as she maintains her position, I'll let that be whatever it's gonna be. That's what's happening today. That's what we heard in that podcast. They're saying, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna let you have it because I know you can't do right.
They just saying that out loud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, there is not a woman on this planet that don't know her man stepping out. And exactly when he's doing it, because y'all are really bad about cross-pollinating.
Oh wow, never heard that analogy.
I'm trying to say it nice. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will bring some shit from her house into my bed that you ain't never done.
Yeah, you want to get creative now.
Before. We've been together for years. Where'd that come from?
Let me show you this new trick.
Hello, where'd that come from?
Right.
All of a sudden,
but I have a question for you, Alicia and Daniela. Do y'all sometimes get it wrong?
No.
So it is your opinion that when a woman says her man is cheating, he is. Y'all don't get it wrong.
Oh, okay. No, now some women, I'm not gonna say that.
No,
some women don't know what they're talking about. Some women are just paranoid.
I was just.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Right.
But we do know when you been somewhere you ain't supposed to be.
Right, gotcha.
And I just want to say, let's be honest, it takes two to tango all the time. So whether he's going down to so-and-so's house with the pumpkin pie or whatever.
Pumpkin, see what?
But okay, go ahead, Mama Noise, because you about to say something. I don't want you to forget.
Well, I was gonna say that I can't speak for other women, but it's like I feel like that I've always been I'm a low key a detective.
Yep.
It's like you know, and I don't like your girl said, guys be, like they trying to leave breadcrumbs and stuff. You just like, okay, I just got finished.
I'm sorry, I was first thing popping my ear.
Just certain things that you saying, okay, I thought you said you was over to, and it's like either that or you tell on yourself. You remember when I took you to the movie? We didn't go see that movie. I mean, it's that you, like, in other words, you trying to keep all this on the low, and you end up telling on yourself.
So it's hard to keep your lies straight.
So I'd like to be able to say, no, do we get it wrong? We don't, because truth be told, you want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. But then when you're sitting there going, man, this is just too coincidental, and it's like it's that I'm gonna go church on you, Al, is that the discernment I have to be able to pick up certain stuff. You're just like, okay, I heard what you're saying, but I heard what you didn't say. or it's some stuff. Now I'm gonna tell you, sometimes we can get so I want to be in love. I want to be in this relationship. I want to believe that everything is going well. That you just like, I don't see the stuff that you see.
Yep.
When I'm always just transparent and here on this podcast, and I say all the time, before I met Mr. Noise, I was engaged to another guy. I was engaged. And I was so busy. Like, he asked me to marry him. I had the ring on, and I was so just caught up in I'm getting ready to be somebody's wife that I was just like, oh, okay, when we need to go. We're trying to get some furniture. We need to find us a place to live. I'm so caught up in the plans that I did not see that I was the one making the plans. You asked me to marry you, but I'm the one making the plans. What are your plans? Why you ain't involved in this? Why I gotta find you. It's like, in other words, it's almost like God just took the scales off my eyes and said, you notice that you're doing all this by yourself for somebody who's been asked, you've been asked to be married. Why are you the only one that's, and I'm going, because he's busy working and he's trying to get things ready for us. No, it's because you are alone in this. And I tell ladies this all the time. Sometimes just because you got the engagement ring doesn't make you married. Some guys will go through and it's sad to say it, but a guy will put a ring on your finger to make sure you don't go nowhere.
Bam.
And then still be out hoeing. Like, in other words, well, I just want to make sure the good one is like a space holder. Hold this space right here. I want to make sure she don't go nowhere because she want to be a wife. And I think she's wife material. But now if I put this ring on her finger, she ain't going nowhere. She will stay till Jesus return as long as she know there's a possibility of her being somebody's wife.
Yep.
And I didn't know that because I hadn't been taught that. I didn't know like Jay and Kyrie one Saturday night was talking about, guys will wait you out and stuff. I didn't have those skills because sometimes they say, she's supposed to know that. She grew up, she's supposed to know. All of us did not have somebody in our lives.
But let me say this. I got you, Mama Noise. Let me say this. But that's what this situation is. This situation is the other side of what you just said. The story you just told. I got cheated on. I was in the situation where I thought I was going to be with this guy forever, and it didn't work out. She said she's been cheated on since junior high.
Yeah.
So in her mind, she's saying, I've gone through the same thing that you have, Mama Noise, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip the script on the whole thing. I'm going to stop requiring this guy to step up and marry me and do me the right by the marriage. I'm going to stop requiring this guy to be monogamous because he and his entire gender are clearly incapable of doing that. So what I'm going to do is just say, I'm going to have as much control as I possibly can. And in her mind, control means if you're going to be with me, whatever you do, you're going to be honest about it. Don't embarrass me out here in these streets and have me looking crazy and thinking, and you doing stuff that I don't know you're doing. So that's what a lot of these women are shifting to. They're saying, I can't get all those things that you get in Mama Noise. I can't get all those things that you get in Alicia, but I can have a measure of control in that I'm willing. And by the way, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I want us to understand the cultural shift. That's what's going on. Women are saying, like the other girl, she said, I'm tired. If you go back and live the whole video, she said, I'm tired.
The host?
Yeah, the host. She said, I'm tired. I've tried it. I got my heart broken so many times that I can't even count no more. I'm tired. She said, I would love to have somebody that's monogamous. I'd love to have somebody that's going to treat me right. But it ain't out there.
But
so
she
why keep searching for a unicorn that doesn't exist?
But she came in, but look, if it wasn't for the guys that just told the truth and was like, hey, I remember that you was a virgin not too long ago. And she like, And then he's like, and furthermore, I don't think you over the stuff that you say you over.
But Mama Noise, think about what you said. You just kind of glossed over that. But think about what you just said. I was a virgin when I came out here. And in my mind, the person that I probably met was somebody I was in love with. So she's not a young girl. So if she came to Hollywood a virgin and lost her virginity in Hollywood, she's like, wow, they did me like this.
Wow.
So then then she said, okay, well, maybe that was just that guy. Then the next guy come along. He did me like this too. And then the next guy come along. Wait a minute, they all doing it? At some point you go, well, maybe it ain't possible. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to have an understanding and an empathy for the journey of today's young lady. Because if it's a perpetual thing and it's a bunch of guys out here that are just not willing to do right, that's a problem. That's a problem. That is a problem. We now have the newest epidemic. We got COVID, monkeypox, and niggas that won't do right.
But you know what? There is something to be said, and your mother has told you that if you keep meeting the same dude over and over again, you are looking in the wrong place.
Alicia, and while that may be true, I don't want to fully hold on. I don't. That may be true, and Al, I heard you back there, so I'm gonna get you in there. That may be true, but that may not be the whole story. Because you might be looking in the right place. We don't know where these women have looked. They may have looked at the church and got burned. They may have looked at the library and got burned. They may have gone to the school and got burned. I mean, it sounds like the burning is going on all over the place. It don't sound like it's locationally it's relegated to a location. It just sounds like it's a bunch of dudes out there that ain't refusing to do right. Go ahead, Al. We cut you off.
I was just gonna say when comes that almost
your inner cuz came out.
I had to pause there for
your inner cuz came out. I heard
it. When does the time come when we have to evaluate ourselves? Like Alicia said.
I agree.
Well, okay, if you keep meeting the same guy, maybe you are in the wrong place, but maybe there's something in you.
Yes.
Maybe your criteria is a little bit off.
Could be.
Kyrie always over the criteria.
But if you are getting perpetually, I'm gonna say it hardcore because this is in tribute to Cuz. If you're getting perpetually dicked over, isn't your criteria already messed up? Isn't it? It already is, right?
It can be. Or is your standards a little bit low?
Yeah.
Are your requirements a little bit low?
Yeah. That's possible.
Are you not happy with yourself, and that's killing your criteria?
Right. There's something to be said with how you value yourself.
If you take your last 5 people you were with, right?
I'm not going to just accept, and maybe right now I need to back off this whole situation, and I need to stop looking outside of myself.
Call me crazy, but one of the most attractive things in a woman is a woman that won't put up with my bullshit. And I'm talking about me. I find that attractive. A woman that's willing to say, "Nah, bruh, that's bull."
Yeah.
No, I think that's true.
The question is, when does that kick in? Because at some point your self-healing has to kick in order for you to be able to potentially find that person.
Yeah. It's really sad for a woman because it seems like you got to go through some stuff before, if you don't already have it, you got to go through some dogs before you decide, I'm not going to do this anymore. And you have to decide that I'm okay if I never find anybody. I will be all right.
Now you done lost every woman on the planet.
No.
Because that's the problem. Well, Alicia, but
I've been there.
now, Alicia. But
I've been there.
You have been there, but you also been married 26 years. So now
that's true. But the crazy thing is, when I got there, is exactly when he showed up.
But hold on, Alicia. Now let's come on now. We're gonna tell the truth.
I'm gonna be honest.
Let's tell the truth, shame the devil.
And I treated him
married.
bad.
You said you done came on this hero podcast, and you said I got married at 26. So your journey to the weight wasn't quite as long as some of these women have been.
Well, let me okay. So
let me tell you what
the journey was. Let me tell you what the journey was.
Okay.
So 18 years old, I go to Kentucky State's homecoming, meet this dude. Cool. I'm a senior in high school, meet this dude. He's intelligent, loves me, seems to be completely crazy about me.
Mm-hmm.
We go along, we doing fine. We in love. We get pregnant. Long through that pregnancy, right at 9 months, like 3 days before I'm due, I find out about this other chick. I am informed by said man that if I don't like it, I can leave. So now I'm 19. Get ready to be 20. Hold up. What the hell? We was in this. We having a baby. You asked me to marry you. And you treating me like shit. Mm-hmm. Like I don't matter. And whatever I think don't matter. All of a sudden, we fine. You could take me or leave me. So I decide I'm leaving. I'm not doing this with you. I don't have to do this with you. Have that baby. Minding my own business. I'm just going to leave them alone because they won't act right. They won't treat you right. I don't want to do this no more. If I don't ever find a man again, fine. I'm cool. I just have to be alone. And then his brother shows up, who I treat poorly. I would say poorly because it was probably a little worse than that because I was downright nasty because I was hurt from the last dude. I got this baby. I'm not trying to do this with you. I don't want you. I don't care how good you are to me. I don't want you. And so I'm pushing. Mm-hmm. He turns around and looks at me and tells me sincerely, I'm not scared of you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to act like the last dude. Will you marry me? No. That's at 22. Like you said, I didn't get married till I was 26.
Right.
I was told, you let me know when you ready. I'll be right here. So yes, I got married at 26, but I lived a lifetime between 18 and 26.
Hey, amen.
And had to be made to look at a good man.
Come on here. And thanking God that you didn't miss the boat.
My God, think about it. If I had just stayed in the mindset where I was, or if he had given up, which I can be a real when I want to be real today.
Has that got anything to do with Manuel?
What the?
It may have been. It may have been.
Wrong with you?
It could have been a manual thing. It could have been a manual thing.
It ain't a manual thing. This is a life thing.
But now hold on. Let me interrupt right there because I first of all, you're amazing. Thank you for being so transparent and sharing your story. And I think what makes the story more powerful is that you recognize that truthfully, based on what I just heard, you are on the verge of becoming these women.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
It don't even sound like it was maybe. It sounded like you were right there. You were putting on the coat. You was about to button it up, and you was like, these men can't be loyal. They ain't ish. They ain't, and I get it. Cause that guy did you wrong, right? So imagine now, and I think we can empathize if a series of guys have done this.
Yeah.
It makes it really, really hard not to arrive at the conclusion that these women have arrived with. And with that, Cuz is in the building. He is set up. He is lit up. His head is shining like a full moon. It is beautiful. And chocolate. Don't do that, Cuz. I'm complimenting you, brother. I'm complimenting you. You've been listening. I know you've been listening. Your thoughts, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, Pastor.
I haven't heard a lot of what was said. But I do want to introduce myself as the cussing host. I'm not sure how much cussing has gone on.
Only none.
I can cuss. So I did hear Mr. Noise say something about somebody dicking you around. I almost had a wreck. I said, Lord.
Did you? I didn't mean for you to have a wreck. I apologize.
Head out my own. I'm not sure what's been said and what hadn't been said. So I prefer to listen a little bit longer.
Well, you listen. You. I think you are as caught up as you need to be, because the reality is we're trying to understand this new culture of openness, and it's hard for us to accept that these women who have accepted this model of openness are actually truly as healthy as they would like the world to believe. In fact, I would surmise that, in the words of the prophet Biggie, it was all a dream. There's no way. Yeah.
Let me say this. I do believe that we as men have the power. That's not to be offensive now. But we as men have the power to drive women plumb crazy. We do it to them all the time. That anger, that bitterness that you see that's out there, those walls that's being thrown up, that's all in reaction to some man, some male that didn't do that woman right over and over again. When a woman is checking your drawers or checking your, well, you know what I'm talking about. Checking your mileage on your car, checking where you've been and who you've been talking to.
Detective.
She's in a state of madness, craziness, because that's plumb foolish to do that. If you got to check up on a nigga, you don't need that nigga.
But okay.
Amen.
So you disagree with her philosophy of saying, as long as you are with three women, we're talking about three different women. One, I think she was just too young and poor baby. She ain't even tried an open relationship yet. So I don't know what she was talking about. But the other two was like, one was like, as long as you're honest with me about what you're doing, and I don't have to find out from the women that you're doing it, you're telling me you're doing it, we're good. And the other one was like, as long as you're not investing in them emotionally or financially and not bringing nothing home, we're good.
There again, craziness.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel that they can find what they really want. So they settle for what they can get. And we've been doing that mind game. I almost said another word, but Mama knows on here. I'm sorry. I don't even know who the guest is.
That is Alicia. That be in the chat and be talking from Mango.
I didn't know she was that pretty. Have mercy.
That's not true. That's not true at all. You said when you saw a picture pop up, wow, who's that pretty woman? You know what? You sure know how to rewrite a narrative.
Can I get my damn compliment out and move on without you?
We'll go on then. We'll go on
Yes,
then.
you can. Yes,
He's
you
gonna
can.
change the story 12 times, Lord. He's gonna change the story 12
I mean,
times.
12 times at least. Go on then.
Well, Al has already done the win-win-win. So
We
I did do the win.
really screw women minds over.
Mm-hmm.
Until they actually believe the way that they are is by choice.
Yeah.
But really their hands have been forced.
You know, can I say something that I just think that may be relevant to this is that, you know, when she said she was cheated on when she was in junior high school or high school. You know, I started to reflect on what she said, and then I thought, man, I remember my first heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody told me properly how to handle that. They just said, she up there crying, my brother. She up there crying and everything. I can't get no sleep up here. Mama, this girl up here crying and everything over that old boy. But nobody came in, sat down, talked to me, and helped me to understand that I was asking too much of a teenage boy. I'm up here thinking that he understands this relationship and how important it is to be committed. And I'm thinking all this stuff in my mind. I'm at school writing Mr. and Mrs. I'm thinking that we gonna get married one day. You know, we gonna be one of those couples that be every now and then you see one of those, they've been together since high school.
But Mama Noise, people can't help you with a medicine they don't own.
But who outside of your friends should have helped you with that?
That's what I'm trying to say to her, Kyrie. People can't help you with a medicine they don't own. And that includes, that's up to and including your mother.
Yeah.
If she's brokenhearted because she done been done wrong and she ain't never healed, and your friends are brokenhearted because they been done wrong and they ain't never healed, and your sister's brokenhearted because she been done wrong, and your cousin and your auntie and your this, man, if the medicine don't exist, if it don't exist in your circle, then that healing is going to be unavailable.
But I expect
that's what the young lady said. Remember, she said, everybody I know is feeling this. Everybody I know is going through this. Everybody.
But I expect the cosign from Cuz, because just like I would suspect that if, God forbid, that happened to Jasmine, our first heartbreak, that he would be sitting her down, explaining to her what, the ins, the outs, and what's going on, and help her to be able to, so that it wouldn't be something that's a trauma that she ends up holding on to for the rest of her life, like this young lady.
You missed what I said. You missed what I said. That medicine exists in their home. So he can offer that elixir. He can offer that remedy to be able to bring her, help bring and facilitate her healing. She said, and you went through, that medicine ain't there. You went to mom, and mama said, girl, get over. You ain't supposed to be dating anyway. And that's the best she could offer. That's not a healing. Right? That's not a healing. So that doesn't help you. And it doesn't take away that pain. Same thing with Alicia. Alicia, that dude, nobody came back behind that dude until later, like she said, until much later. Now this new guy comes in and says, hey, I want to offer you something you've never had before. But that took a long, but by the time that happened, and Alicia, you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just going back by what you said. By the time that happened, you had already lived with this sickness for a long time. So it's already infiltrated every part of her being. Yeah. So if nobody ever offers you the medicine to heal, the remedy, or shows you the path to redemption and clarity, man, you can't heal. You just can't do it. Remember in the video or in the audio, she said, what would therapy do?
Yeah.
She don't believe in it because she's had man, that trauma is a part of her now. It is DNA built.
I would say that the only thing that saved me was 2 sets of grandparents that had been married forever and were in love, that were clearly, visibly, that I had contact with on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. I knew what this was supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. I knew that I wanted that. Mm-hmm. I did not want this mess. There wasn't no outside kids with my grandparents. Wasn't no woman down the street or across town. Didn't nobody show up at the funeral that shouldn't have been there.
Come on.
And I knew that because I watched them. Mm-hmm. So I had role models that told me that's not what you're supposed to. That's not what your life is supposed to look like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that if you don't have that, I don't know what you do.
I don't know how you fix it. Yeah. I don't know how you fix it.
But you said she said the girl on the video said she didn't see
nobody.
Everything she saw was she grew up with a bunch of dudes, and all she saw was them running the street doing whatever they wanted to do. Right. And that's why it's important to see what it is you need to be able to see. Mm-hmm. Because you're you're a product of your environment. And if you didn't see that, and I expressed to Lloyd when we were friends, I was like, man, I don't even know what that looks like. Mm-hmm. But I knew, like you, Alicia, I knew that's what I wanted. I wanted it. If it, and if it wasn't available, then I just said, I'm just going to be a single person. But if I can't get that, because it settling.
Wow.
Settling and saying, well, this is the best. It's the best I could get. It's like, I just can't. I just can't imagine that.
It's commentary on your self-worth, what you think and feel about yourself, and what you are truly worth.
Cuz, jump back in there. I can feel it in my spirit. I felt your spirit, brother.
His mic is not on.
Yeah, you got to unmute. You definitely got to unmute. There you go.
I agree with what Ms. Dunlap just said about your self-worth. But that really comes in 2 different ways. Either somebody poured into you as a young person, or because of the pain that you have experienced, you just sick and tired of being sick and tired and fooling with these niggas. So now you've made up your mind that I'm not going to do that no more. You tired of, let's just keep it real. This is grown folks conversation. You tired of being run through by everybody that says they love you.
Yep.
So now you start saying that love don't mean nearly as much as I thought it did. Because everybody has said it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Love is an action word.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Love is an action word. You will show me how you love me. You will not. You can say it all you want to. It don't mean nothing.
But what's critical to what you just said is also the action, and this is the part we don't talk enough about. The action is not. It's a selfless action. In other words, it's an action that says, I would never do anything to you that I wouldn't want done to me.
Bingo.
And so I'm not gonna treat you. I'm gonna treat you with the utmost respect and honor and all of those things, because that's how you deserve to be treated. And the thing that blows my mind about the conversation is the plurality of you are not enough. Mm-hmm. I cannot imagine saying that or making my wife feel that.
Yes.
You're not enough. I got to have more poom poom. I got to get it from wherever I can get it from. I got to be able to, if they offering, I got to accept it. I got to accept it because you, ma'am, are not enough. That sends a direct message, nonverbal, and a very strong nonverbal message that speaks way more than any I love you will ever speak to the spouse that you say you love. It don't matter how many times you tell her love. It don't matter how you pay the bills. Don't matter how much money you make. None of that matters. The moment you keep stepping out, even if you tell her, and to me, telling her is worse.
Yeah. Oh, behind what you're doing,
telling her is worse. To me, it's worse. To me, it is. I could be wrong, but to me, it feels like that's worse. Go ahead, cuz. You mute. Oh, no.
What did you say is worse?
Telling. So in their relationship, the couple that we're talking about, she said, as long as you tell me, I'm okay with it. I don't want to find out from somebody. I want you to tell them, and I want them to also know that I know. So that's the setup that they have, that he is to tell her what's going on. And
that's almost normal to a degree.
Normal.
Yeah, just hold on.
I'm gonna have to hold on for this one.
Yeah. Well, I'll take you on a ride. Don't worry.
Take me on a ride.
For some women,
did you do that?
I know. I heard it. I heard it just after I said it, and I regretted it. Al, I really did.
Oh damn.
Okay.
Damn. For some women, listen, they are used to being hurt, but it's the added embarrassment of it.
Right.
For instance, my daddy was a serial cheater, and my mother told me once after they had divorced that she used to tell him, she'd say, Luther, if you're going to be out there doing what you're doing, be discreet about it. In other words, don't embarrass me. I'm out here running a business. I'm out here doing what I'm doing. And it is embarrassing because they were well known. So for some women, if we can keep the secret in the house, I feel a little bit better, even though I know that's dysfunctional. At least our business is not out there in the street.
But now these new girls ain't even trying to keep it in the house, cuz they like, listen, I don't care who know as long as I know first.
Right. Because
I'm glad.
That means somebody doesn't have something on her.
Oh God. What we saying, Al?
I'm glad I kept my mouth shut long enough because I was able to remember what I wanted to ask cuz.
Okay.
Cuz, and I do not mean this sarcastically. Is an open marriage, is that a form of fighting for your marriage? Because the marriage itself is the most important thing?
Golly, what a statement.
Is that like Go ahead.
I believe for women that allow it to happen, they are fighting for their marriage. For men that want it, we're just doing what we want to do, whether it's inside the marriage or outside the marriage. We're just doing what we want to do. But for most women aren't built that way. Commitment is important to a woman. That security of a relationship is important to most women.
Mm.
But if somebody else is getting it, if somebody else has your heart, if somebody else is, if you're spending quality time with somebody else, then that doesn't mean, that means that I don't have you.
But how do you reconcile in an open relationship that it's just sex? When sex, we know, is such
because
we can lie to ourselves and say a nut is a nut. I get it. But the reality is, there's a level of familiarity and intimacy that has to take place to some degree. Now, maybe it's not layers of intimacy, maybe it's not depth of intimacy, but you do have to have some familiarity with somebody. We're not all just out here with randos.
But see, Mr. Noise, that's what I meant earlier when I said men have been screwing with women's minds for forever. You can convince a woman, if you talk to her right, that it's just sex. I don't like her. I don't want her. I'm here with you. And she can, and a lot of women buy it. But you can't convince a man. If a woman trying to convince a man, honey, that was just sex. That ain't got nothing to do with love. No, hell no.
Because here's what's interesting about what she said in the video as well, and we kind of missed this. We kind of glossed over it. She said the dude called her from Pennsylvania and said, your man's a cheater. He's been sleeping with my wife, and she said, oh, he's been sleeping with her for 2 years. Every time he comes to that city, they hook up. Well, damn, that's a relationship, ain't it? Yeah. If y'all hook up every time he comes to the city for 2 years, that's a damn relationship. Am I crazy to think that's a relationship?
No.
Because a one night stand means I hit it this one time and I'll never see you again.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I am now familiar with you sexually,
I know your wife, and
I know your husband knows, and her husband knows.
I'm saying that's a relationship. That's not a one-off. So how are you telling me that there's no feelings? There's something, because you keep coming back.
Can men screw without feelings?
They say
we can. We like to say that we can. I don't know if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how true that is, but we like to say it.
Ron said in the
chat. 30 days, that's all it takes.
It's a relationship.
Anything you do for 6 weeks becomes a habit.
The one thing about a side chick is that she's standing on your side.
Yep.
So every man that's in a relationship for 30 days that confesses his love for a woman, does he love her?
Even if he don't confess her love,
It
bro,
might not be a love relationship.
If you are perpetually having sex with someone, I think anytime you have sex with somebody more than once, you in some kind of relationship. Now you can define it however you want to have it, but even a sexual relationship is a relationship.
But the word relationship doesn't matter, does it? He's in a relationship with you, but he obviously don't give a damn about you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, now I don't understand what you just said. Say that again.
If a man is in a relationship with you, woman A, he's married.
The married, okay. All right.
But yet he's having relationships with other women. Then obviously the word relationship doesn't matter to him. It's not.
I would say so. I would agree with that, but I'm trying to understand these new definitions. So if because again, 2 years, you've been going back and forth with this woman for 2 years, bro. That is a relationship. I don't care what you call it. You now, oh no, we just having sex. Yes, you're having a sexual relationship. That's not a one-off.
Who do you blame for this? We got to put the blame somewhere. We just can't keep talking about this shit. Who do we blame?
Remember when Mama Noise said men like to put a ring on it to have a placeholder?
Yes.
To hold on to that woman that they potentially could see themselves being a spouse or a wife.
Whenever they grow up.
Whenever they get right. Whenever they grow up.
Yeah.
Whenever they mature into that, I'm holding her for me.
Right.
So nobody else gets her, which is exactly what that is.
Right.
And if I can convince her in the meantime to let me go out here and be a dog.
But you're talking pre-marriage, though, Alicia. You're talking pre-marriage.
I'm talking pre-marriage too.
I'm saying you're talking pre-marriage.
I'm talking pre-marriage too.
This is a full-on marriage. She's married,
her, but he's still holding her, even though
I agree. Yeah.
He's still holding her for himself. For whenever, because he wants to have this, because there was some conversation about, you remember the soulmate don't get run up into, right?
No, that ain't what he said. He said my soulmate can have her own thing going too, because we open. And that's when the guys pushed back. They were like, "Yo, soulmate."
Right.
Like
them Negroes was lying. They was lying. They all listen. The dudes acted like, yeah, they was ready to tell everybody out what they was doing. But then when it came to, well, what exactly is she doing? Then it's I don't really want to know. You don't want to know how many that she's letting run up in her or whatever. She's sneaking out, letting some dude run up in her. You don't want to know that, but you want to let everybody know I get whoever I want. I do whoever I want. Well, what about the woman you got at home, the placeholder? Well, I don't need to know all of that. What kind of double standard?
And let's be honest. Black men as a group are jealous. They jealous if somebody just look at you. I literally just had this experience this weekend, standing out on the curb after we've been out, waiting for him to finish talking. Not a young man, but a man walks over to me, looks me dead in my face. I'm thinking, damn, do I know him? And I can't remember his name because that's how he was looking at me. And he just says, "You are so beautiful." I'm like, okay. Oh, right. I'm a chef. You should let me cook for you. And so at that point, I'm like, well, maybe we should discuss that with my husband. We'll discuss that with my husband. He's right here. But at that point, all of a sudden, I have my husband's undivided attention. Where he was all over talking to somebody else. Now all of a sudden he want to know what's going on.
Because you asked the question about who's to blame. Anthony Bruce said, "We told women they could go out and give their bodies away to anyone and ask for nothing from a man, and this is what happens." What are your thoughts to that?
We created this whole mess. We created it. Black women have experienced this dysfunction called in search of love, in search of commitment, in search of a man. And we know that's what they want, and we play upon that. It's been going on so long that now they feel I have hope, so now I'm going to play the game on my terms. And that's what that wife is calling herself doing. She's playing the game on
trying to play it on her terms. That's exactly right.
But then you think about what Alicia said, that, then when the man who wants to love her through all that she's been through, he is having to get the business.
My goodness.
He's going to have to fight.
I mean, he's trying to offer about it. He's trying to offer her the love and the healing and all that. I'm gonna stand in the foxhole with you. I'm gonna take this baby and put him under my arm, and it's gonna be our baby. We gonna.
By the way, we never. I assumed that the guy was the lovely Mr. Romeo, but I didn't know.
The guy is the lovely Mr. Romeo.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody understood how the story ended. I just didn't know.
The story ends happily.
It is happily, and that's the key, Alicia. It can end happily. It can. It really can if a man is willing to recognize that this woman needs a man.
Yes.
Not a child, not a boy, not a male, but a man. And it can end happy. It can.
Mr. Noise, you've been listening to me too long. You obviously bought in.
No, I had always bought in, sir. I am a product.
Oh,
of my own,
hallelujah!
I'm a product of my own environment, sir. So no, that's not the case. But my point of saying it is the challenge that we're having is, can we get women?
Yeah.
To be patient, because you used the word earlier in this conversation, and it's a very tricky word. And again, none of us are out there in this, so I don't know what this feels like. I say you need to have patience. That's what I would say to my girls.
Yeah.
I don't know what patience looks like in 2022. I don't.
It's hard
because it feels like I'm gonna have to go take some dude and clean him up and get it right. And patience might be, I'm gonna have to walk with this little nigga until he get his head straight.
Listen.
Hello.
These are facts. I meant what I said when I said, Alicia,
The matchmaker thing. I you know what? I have.
You shaking your head.
It's not like it's not kosher, right? It's not. But I'm look. Angelique got 3 daughters. I got this. Trust me, I'm truly thinking about. I'm going to introduce you to your wife.
I'm just saying,
you have you out here in these streets running around behind.
And Cuz is shaking his head like, oh no, I ain't doing that. Because you might not have a choice.
I mean, if you want to make sure your children don't go through this,
Cuz
don't learn from the streets, which we know that they do, that this wrong way of going about it.
But at least it may not even be the streets. This little nigga could be a white boy with a tattoo on the side of his neck, and he come in and he done fell in love with your baby, and he come in, oh, Mr. Joyner, you know, what's up, my man? What's up, my man? What's up, Jay? What's up, Jay? And
you don't know how worried I am about
and
that.
You like
that trailer trash white girl. You do not know how worried I am about that trailer trash white girl.
But I'm trying to help us to. Okay, but I'm trying to help us all understand that what we're seeing as an ancillary problem that, there's definitely some good guys out there. Do you realize that how much trash these ladies might have to wade through to get to this good guy?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, Jay. So you shaking your head like you ain't going to do it, but you might have to do it.
You know what? He always be talking about me shaking my head.
Listen. I understand your point. I don't think you're off. But as for me and my house,
oh Lord,
I've already raised all I'm gonna raise. Nigga, I will not teach you. I won't do it. I've already taught my daughter, and believe me. She says it all the time. She said, "Daddy, I'm just like you," because she already know the deal. We ain't got time for no sorry ass men. And we know that now.
So y'all ain't taking no potential. Y'all ain't taking no potential. None. Zero.
My daughter and I already used the words. I already talked with her. I don't care how many orgasms you have, baby.
Oh my. Wow.
Oh yeah.
We haven't had this all night, and then you show up. And
listen.
I mean, now I got to
look. I hate to tell you, it's not about the orgasms. They're fabulous, but it's not about the It's about that first time, or second time, or third time. You might not fall for it on the first time. You might not, but that one, I love you.
Yeah, this is where we're going.
Girls know about the sex, right? We know. We know. It's not that.
And see, this is where I'm gonna disagree with you slightly. You're right, but there's more to the story. And here's the rest of the story, as that old dude used to say. What was his name? Paul Harvey. We all old. So Paul Harvey. This is how he would say the rest of the story. It's the I love you, right?
Yeah.
And how long it takes for you to get it. In other words, how many failed relationships did you have to go through to get that one I love you from somebody who ain't perfect, but his "I love you" seems genuine.
It seems the
You see
real
what I'm saying? Because
it
see,
matters.
that's the fear I have.
Right.
I'm praying that she'll get it on the first try, but it appears that because see, remember, go back to what she said. I've been cheated on since junior high.
Hey.
I
But
didn't
see,
get
we don't-
married until my 30s.
Them little brothers, we don't necessarily have. It's got to be reciprocated, right? You know, you can tell me you love me, but I ain't really feeling you. You know, there's some little thing I found about you that I don't like. Whatever, how petty it is, but it's the one that tells you I love you that you have those feelings as well. That it's a two-way street. It's not one.
But you're
And
missing
he
my
tells
point,
you
though.
even if it's not true, but you feel it.
But you're missing my point. I agree with everything you're saying, but couple that with a personal sense of desperation.
That's true.
Because if you've had to wait a long time for water,
yeah,
and you are really thirsty,
yep,
salt water is as good as anything, as long as it's, at least it's clear. Now it ain't the best tasting, but it's water.
Oh Lord, you're gonna
And
die
it quenches the thirst. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's more apropos to what we're hearing in these examples. Open relationships are that. They're saying this ain't good water. I know it ain't good water. It's terrible. But at least it quenches my thirst, and I can say I had water.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the scary part, because I don't want that for my child. I don't want that for my children.
Yeah.
That you're just going to accept whatever you've got. You've been beat down so bad by societal standards and their approaches and whatever that you just give up and say, fine, give me salt water.
You don't want them to be thirsty.
Because I just don't want to be thirsty no more.
Yeah. I agree.
And you Jay saying, well, I don't think it's going to happen to mine. I pray you're right, brother.
I don't want your prayer.
Oh,
I'm giving it to you whether you want to or not, and I ain't praying for you. I'm praying for Jazz.
I've done my work. Now, if she go out there and bump her head and fall on stupid, that's on her.
Oh Lordy!
I've done my work.
Is it falling on stupid?
Bless your soul. Wait till you see your baby's face.
You're damn right. It's falling on stupid because I've taught her. Over and over and over again. Now, she has to, in all of our cases, at some point, our kids have to make choices.
Yes.
I've taught her what choices mean. So now, if you go out there and get stuck on stupid, that's up to you, baby. But Daddy has already taught you.
So you trying to tell me if she say, Daddy, I know you know how to get salt out the water. Can you please? This is a good guy. He just wasn't raised right. He didn't have the examples. He didn't have the guidance. Daddy, he's a good dude. Just help me get the salt out.
I will never take in a nigga talking about raising.
I ain't say raising, but he might. I ain't say raising, but he might come to you for some advice.
He can't fix him. He can't fix him. He's not gonna be able to fix him.
Not until you marry my child will I ever embrace you into my family. Okay, so do that for some nigga that she dating.
No. I'm not talking about dating. Okay, let me clean that up. I'm talking about marriage, full on marriage. And she said,
that's a different story.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about why he tased that invited the boy. He go on vacation with him and
No. We ain't talking about that. I'm talking about in a marital situation. She may break down and say, "Listen, I got the least saltiest water I could, and this is Daddy is bad out here. It's bad. It's Jackson, Mississippi right now. It's $1 billion problem. It's Flint." No, I'm just saying that's what we're talking about, Mama Noise. That's what we're talking about.
$1 billion problem.
A water that's so bad, or a situation, Mama Noise. These women's situation is so bad that they I dare say they didn't even lower the standard, they removed the standard. That's where we are culturally. They're removing the standard. That's scary, man. That's scary. So we're counting on our children. Listen, I tell my girls all the time, you're worth the wait. Make him wait. Make him earn it. Make him step up. Do not settle. Do not settle. I tell them that all the time. Now, I don't have to live their life. So can they hold out? Do they have the capacity to hold out and wait and not settle?
Like I said to you earlier, my daughter says all the time she's a lot like her dad, which means, y'all forgive me for saying this, which means she's an asshole. She ain't gonna take no shit off no nigga.
I just want all the dads to think back. How were you when you were 20? When you say they're a lot like me, I need you to remember. Right? What were you doing when you were 18? What were you doing when you was 19?
And that's why I have raised her the way that I raised her, because I know I was a hoe.
Yeah. See, I keep wanting to remind folks.
I haven't forgotten that. Some people get old and they get absent-minded. They get stuck on stupid. They didn't forget what they did.
And that's why I'm praying for her, because and I ain't praying for you. I'm praying for her. Forget you. I'm praying for her. You be quiet. You don't tell me where to put my prayer. Put my prayer where I want to put my prayer.
I got it over here. I got it.
You hush. I'll pray for whoever I want to pray for.
Oh my goodness.
Because I need her to stay strong in the fact that she understands she's worth it. She's worth the wait.
I think I would tell you that they are ahead of the crowd. That they know that there's something about them that's special, especially if their fathers have continuously told them that. Because girls don't get that a lot.
It's facts.
So there are girls out there in these streets that ain't never seen their daddy. They gonna fall victim first, right?
But they all have to make a choice, though, Lisa.
Absolutely. But sometimes you don't have the tools to make good choices.
Ooh, sister, what's your cash out?
Oh, hush. We've been saying that all night. You late.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
That's too much.
I think, my heart goes out to those ladies and the guys in that conversation, because they represent the bigger problem. And when we as a society have just basically removed the standard and decided that I'm just not going to maintain a standard anymore, it doesn't matter.
But Mr. Noise, every time I speak about holding us accountable as men for the situations that we have created in our community, I get kicked at and talked about by you and the rest of these niggas on this podcast.
No, we kick and talk about you.
Blaming the men.
Hold on, nigga child.
We created this bullshit.
Hold on, nigga child. We are not kicking at you because we don't believe in the standard. We are kicking at you because you're not holding everybody to the standard.
Listen,
your ass wants to make just the men hold the standard, and we all got to do it. We all got to do it. Women got to decide. Women got to decide they are worth it and not let these niggas get by.
So when a man, M-A-N, he's actually a male, but when a man beats himself on the chest and says, I'm a man, I'm a king, I'm the head, what is he talking about?
He doesn't know most of the time. Not today.
Okay, but we know what that means.
We do know what that means.
We know it means you're supposed to be a leader,
right,
in your home and in your community.
Totally agree.
So where do the leaders blame others, or do they take responsibility for what the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that part, but we got it. But here's the thing: in order for this to truly work, there must be a checks and balance. So when we teach these young men, hold on. When we teach these young men what the standard is and how to maintain that standard, these women then have to say, oh no, you've been taught better than that, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not accept from you anything less than the standard. That's the only way this works. Because if one woman doesn't toe the line and she decides it's okay to open my legs for less than, the whole thing continues to break down.
Let me tell you why.
I know I just preached.
Let me tell you why I believe that's problematic, preacher. Because if a woman tries to hold the standards, she's going to be a lonely ass. A man has to be a man regardless of the woman. Listen, I was fortunate enough to hear Miss Alicia talk about her relationship with her husband.
Right.
How that, excuse me, ma'am, I just talk crazy. I don't mean no harm, but how that nigga fought for her. He came and came and came. Listen, he was willing to make himself look like a fool for that woman.
Amazing. Awesome.
Come through.
And until we get that, listen, a woman can't make a man be a man. He has to want to be a man.
Because I'm not saying every woman has the capacity to hold the line of the checks and balance.
Yeah.
But there has to be enough. Hold on. There has to be enough women to do it to where the weaker of them can get the help they need despite the standard not being met.
She may hold the line in one hand, but she gonna hold the dildo in the other hand.
She might. Hey, cuz she might. But that doesn't mean it.
It's up to us as men to wake up.
I'm not saying that. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But it's I just think that's where we always split the part right there. Me, Al, and Ron, and you. All of us on this side saying women got to do their part.
Deal with you and your standards. There's too much free pussy out there.
But I would tell you.
But that's the point.
There's another part. There's another part. Like you said, we teach our sons, go out there and get as much as you want. Let me back that up. We ain't all teaching them that.
Right.
But there's a contingent that are teaching their sons, go out there and get as much as you want. They are not telling their sons, you are worth the wait. You are worth a good woman. You don't have, this is not how you prove you're a man. This is not what a man looks like.
Well, there's no man in his life to teach him that, Alicia. That's the problem.
You know, there's not always, but sometimes.
Sometimes.
And we got to teach as many as we can. Because
now, Lisa, you preaching. I don't know what
they will honestly.
You preaching.
Mr. Noah.
Honestly make themselves extinct, right? They will make themselves extinct. If you keep treating women like this, you know, we keep talking about black women going outside their race because they can't find what they're looking for. Black men will become extinct. They will just disappear.
Uh-oh. Now you done gone meddling.
But because
they will eventually, between what's happening to them in the streets, they don't have respect for their lives or each other's.
Now you done gone to meddling, Alicia.
Well, I'm just saying, I see a very dark road.
We already on that road.
Right. I know we are, but
yeah, we on that road.
But see, you talking about whether or not black men become extinct or you talking about the whole. You talking about the whole situation.
Right.
Boys and males don't care about that whole. They only care about themselves.
Right.
And what I can get for me. The only difference between malehood and manhood is a mentality that I'm going to build with somebody else. I'm going to build her. The problem is we all look the same. We all dress the same. And many of us know exactly what to say. We all sound the same.
Right.
And she's supposed to be picking a man when his ass ain't no man.
But she don't know. But that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
If a woman does not know how to pick or what the standard is, then you're gonna end up in a situation where your panties is over your head, and now you're trying to figure out how the hell they got there.
Man, it's crapshoot.
Yeah.
It is, but it doesn't.
It's crapshoot.
It is, but it does. But I'm saying it doesn't have to be. If we are educating all of everybody and saying, guys, we got to do better. We got to do better all the way across the board. And I'm not blaming the women for selecting these dudes.
Yeah.
Because I think most women go into most situations with good intentions, with real good intentions.
Most.
Alicia said she met that dude and the intentions were genuine. I liked him. He was cute. He treated me right. Initially, I did whatever I did. And because I did it, I felt like it was supposed to be a situation that worked out, and it should have worked out. He was the one that flipped the script at the last minute and started tripping. So that's how do we prevent that from happening?
You can't.
From her getting tricked.
You can't.
Or even if I can't prevent it from happening, I can prevent it from continuing.
I think you can do both. I think you can do both.
You can at least recognize, crap, I done went down the wrong road.
But let me tell you,
around.
I agree.
And do something else.
I agree, but let me tell you why I think you can do both. Because I think had your 18-year-old self known what signs to look for, there's no way he would have duped you. Because your 52-year-old self said, "Oh, I know exactly what that is." Now you can see that a mile away. So you're gonna pass that down to your daughters and your granddaughters, and you're gonna say, "No, girl, he ain't no good." I can see. You can see that in this conversation. You can see that in his demeanor. You can see that's what I'm saying. So we gotta. That's how we break the cycle. We gotta help our young girls be able to identify the fraud. I did an experiment with my daughters the other day, and I had them for 1 minute solid just stare at $1, and I said, "Look at this dollar. Stare at it for 1 minute solid. Every aspect of this dollar. Look at it." And then as soon as the minute was up, I snatched it away. I said, "Now tell me what you saw." And they saw everything. They saw 4 ones in the corner. They saw the serial number. They saw little stuff that I was missing. I was like, "Man, y'all saw everything." I said, "So you feel like you can identify $1 pretty easily?" "Yes, sir." "You feel like you can touch it and understand what it is?" "Yeah." I said, "Then you should never fall for a counterfeit dollar ever again." That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. I've taught you. I've shown you. You've seen it. I've demonstrated it in front of you. Yes, so now when a dude comes to you and says, "Girl, I can do such and such," nope. You gotta do better than that. I can take you to this restaurant. Come on, man. I've been to that restaurant. I can take you to that restaurant. You gotta do better than that. Well, I can take you on a trip. Nope, I've been on that trip. You gotta do better than that.
Well, I just feel like you can't. In my humble opinion, I just believe that friendship is so paramount. I just think that I was at the same crossroads. I call it the crossroad as Alicia. And until I at that crossroad met my friend Lloyd, that was my friend. I didn't come in saying, "Oh, he looked like he got potential," or I could, boy, he's like a great.
What did you just do? What is happening right now? Lord have mercy.
Oh my. It's a nice chapeau you have on.
Is there a point? I'm sure there's a point you're trying to make with this.
I didn't want Mama Noise to feel all alone.
Oh my goodness.
I can't have two of y'all on with these things on. There's no way this show ends well if both of y'all got wraps on. Get him, Mama Noise. Get him. Don't let him off the hook. Get him. Get him. Win, 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 win. Get him, Mama Noise.
I would say this.
I can't do it.
Huh?
You need to stop.
Along this conversation. You are correct, Mr. Noise, that older women should teach younger women what to look for. But a lot of that comes from pain.
Or I would say all of it comes from.
It takes a man, in my opinion, I'm not 100% correct, I don't believe. I know I'm not. But it takes a man to peep shit in another man. Some men are real good at hiding shit. They're real good at it. Some of them, they go in the bathroom, they light matches, and trying to hide. Another man knows exactly what to look for. So we have to teach our daughters. Mom can tell her, but daddies need to be involved to teach that girl exactly what he's going to say, how he's going to say it, because we know the game. Oh, you gonna give me a close up? I didn't know you was going. Is he gone? They got lost.
I think they froze.
They gone. Al B, you still there? Oh yeah, they got kicked off.
Uh-oh. I agree with you. I agree. It does help.
I believe it's imperative for men to be involved in their daughter's life and outspoken in their daughter's lives.
Mm-hmm.
We can't know the game and not discuss that game with her. We have to explain it to her. And my daughter and I have all of these conversations. Sometimes I know she want to say, my God, do you have to say it like that? But I don't want you to go off to college and get out there in them streets and see it and not recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kept sugarcoating it. What our girls are experiencing out there is nothing less, in my opinion, than a tragedy. Which is why I'm so hard on men.
Our apologies. Our router decided to reboot right in the middle of the show. It's never done that.
That's because y'all in
but
that's because y'all in Arkansas. That shit raggedy.
First, don't do that to Arkansas. Don't do that to Arkansas. Arkansas is not like that. Arkansas is not raggedy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Guess what I'm drinking, Jay? Guess what I'm drinking? Guess what I'm drinking, Jay? Clean water.
Stop. Oh, that's so cold.
No, Alicia, because he be coming for me. He be trying to come for me.
I'm drinking cold water too, but mine out the faucet. Yours is in a bottle.
Right. You didn't get it from Mississippi. You didn't get it from Mississippi. Now.
Wow.
You got kicked off again.
No, we back up. We back up. That's why I did.
Wow.
We back up.
It's your thing. I don't know how y'all put this shit on your head. This thing hot.
I can't.
She's committed. She's committed.
Yeah.
Women have
not to say that, Anthony Bruce, but we ain't on no dial up. Listen, this has been a phenomenal show, and I have a feeling we're gonna have to circle back to this topic again. It's really quite something. I do want to give a couple of church announcements real quick. Like we told y'all earlier, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we will have hit 507 episodes. I don't know. I don't know about you, but that ain't no easy feat. That ain't no easy feat. So we gonna celebrate. So we're gonna start uncork wine early tomorrow. I'm just letting you know. Bring your libations and we're gonna have a good time and laugh and have a good time and have some fun. But 507? 507?
That's a lot. That's a lot, Doc. That's a lot.
Come on now.
Y'all just better be glad y'all didn't start with me. Y'all probably would have got kicked off after about 50. You had a base by the time I came along, so
oh my gosh,
that base just riding with you.
I love and we love the Noisemakers. We sure appreciate y'all.
We sure do.
Alicia, this has been too fun for words. You are just a gem. An absolute gem. Thank God for you.
Alicia is thebomb.com.
And listen, and let me just say this, just for clarity's sake, because some of y'all might be wondering, why ain't y'all have a boo on? Because I want to do that different. I want to have him on I Still Do first, so he feel comfortable, and then that way he can tell his story, his own self, and then he can come on here and do what he do. Alicia be on here all the time. So she familiar with us. She know we crazy, but he don't always know we crazy. So you don't just throw somebody in the crazy.
No,
He's
sitting right next to me.
Is he? What's going on, brother?
No, he's right there with me.
What's going on, brother? Hey, you a champion, my guy.
He's not here in the room with me today because I was requested alone.
Okay.
But normally when we just watching the show, he's right there.
Okay. Well, let him know he is a
promise to say Romel said.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But he's
well,
right there with.
Let him know he is a champion in our eyes, for sure.
Yes, he is.
That story you told, I can't wait to hear his version of the story because I'm telling you.
Oh, Lord.
How long?
You gonna let him tell you how mean I was?
Yes, I am. I gotta hear it. Go ahead, Jay. You were saying something. Go ahead.
How long have you been married?
26 years.
Wow, what a blessing.
Yes.
What a blessing.
26.
Happily, continued happily.
Mighty man of God.
Yes.
Stepped on up.
I've been married damn near 30, but I ain't gonna say that happy shit now.
Oh my God.
Oh, listen to you.
This guy.
The most.
Look, do we get to talk to his wife?
I know, right?
I would like to hear her side of the story.
She don't speak good English, so we're gonna.
Oh my God,
that is not true at all.
No, you
didn't. Wow.
See, your internet wouldn't let you be great with that lie.
See, he do it, and then
I really want to talk to her now.
I know, right? He was trying to talk one day and was like, my wife is right here. And I said, is that right? Then he was like, honey, they have a question. I said, what happened to where's the talking all slick?
Flies.
I was like, he is really like, honey, they want to ask you a question. I said, man, what is happening right now?
You know, the truth set you free, Jay. Truth set you free.
All
right, y'all.
You got me twisted, Mama Noise.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
I don't know how you wear that thing on your head. That shit was hot. I had to take that thing off.
Oh,
that's because you bald.
Whoa.
It still holds the heat in when you got hair. That shit get hot.
You don't know what you're talking about. Keep it moving, sir.
Wow.
That's why you got that fan going.
I ain't got the fan on right now while you all in my Kool-Aid.
Oh my goodness. I got my fan on. My fan is on.
Help us, Lord. Help us. We apparently
women of a certain age about the fan. Just leave us the hell alone.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh my. I have one more church announcement about Uncorked Wine. We're gonna finish up what was really an amazing discussion this weekend. We're gonna get back into that, have some fun with that. But we're just gonna have fun all weekend long. So come hang out with us. Come out to people. Again, Alicia, thank you so much for just bringing your wisdom and everything. And also thank you for vindicating me that I was right in the way I was pronouncing your name. So with that being said, I got that shit right.
So, gotta be right about something, huh?
Gotta be right about something. So with that being said, y'all have a wonderful evening. Talkin Noise, we out this piece.